Alright. Okie dokie. Everything looking good to go, folks. Hello. We're back. Happy Friday, everybody. Today we are wildly departing from everything that I do on this channel. A lot of you folks know that I am a big fan of not casting cantrips in Legacy. I am historically very bad at it and prefer to not do it if at all possible in any way, shape, or form. But this deck popped up. It top 2'd. I don't know if it ended up winning or losing, but it made top 2 of the Super Q, whatever, the PTQ thing yesterday, and it's got Zirda here in it. So I wanted to try it once. It is so morally against, like, just every fiber of my being screams that I'm going to hate myself for playing this deck, but I do have to try it once because it does patch up a lot of the problems that I've been having with, like, the more traditional Zirda builds that I had been messing with. This deck does feel incredibly fundamentally wrong. I hate everything about it. It is literally just, like, the design, like, it's an Euro away from being everything wrong with 2020 and 2019. Maybe if we, like, splashed black and played Blank Engineer in the sideboard too. Like, one snow-covered swamp and then, like 2 Plague Engineers or something. But yes, this deck is infuriating that it exists. But, wanted to try it out. So the problem, anyway, circling back around, the problem is that I think people are finally starting to figure out that their Zirda matchups are not good, and because of that, they're playing a lot more null rods. I played in the Super Qualifier, and I literally went X and null rod. Every time my opponent Stony Silenced or null rodded me, I lost, and every time they didn't, I won. And unfortunately, X and null rod was like X and 3. It was quite unfortunate. Just put a Dream Trawler in here. I think this deck does mitigate a lot of things. I think I talked about it. I forget if I discussed it on stream on Wednesday, kind of my thoughts about this sort of thing, or maybe I just talked about it in Discord, but kind of the prevailing thought that I had when building with Zirda was, what's the best way that you can use Grim Monolith in a deck outside of just the Zirda combo? Apparently MTG Bot is informing everyone that it's been updated. Cool. Thanks, MTG Bot. I didn't really need to know that, but anyway, the best way to use Zirda is to use Grim Monolith in the best way possible. And I think that was always, how can you best use a bunch of colorless mana? And that meant that you couldn't do like a bunch of colors. I had an initial thought that was it was kind of similar to this list. It was like akin to the old Bug Karn decks, except you swap out the black for a white and you play like Swords of Plowshares and Zirda. Kind of like this. It probably needed to play cantrips because you couldn't play Chalice anymore. But I never really went down that rabbit hole because I wasn't super interested in it. Because I think you wanted to like milk the power of Grim Monolith as much as you can. But because of that, those decks were so explosive and like so good against a bunch of decks that everyone started bringing out null rods. And that deck just, you can't really beat null rod with that deck. You can like win games where your opponent null rods you sometimes, it happens, but you can't like make a plan that consistently beats null rods. So it might be time for the meta to shift enough where you want to swing wildly in the other direction, where you don't actually want your Grim Monoliths ever. They don't really synergize with your deck that well, but it does just randomly backdoor kill your opponent. And you just play like a pile of other good cards in the framework around it. And like that's just what this deck is, right? Oko, Karn, like Karn is just a good card even if we're not like there were some like Bant shells that were playing Karn earlier in 2020. People were messing with it, but like now you have more of a reason to because it just is a 1-card combo. We just have Okos and Astrolabes and all that good stuff. So this might be the best way if you want to continue playing Zirda, but want to actually start beating null rods. Because this deck doesn't really give a shit about null rod, right? Your opponent plays a null rod and like, okay, I'm going to beat you to death with an Oko. Or I'm going to, like, elk the null rod and then kill you anyway, or whatever. your mana base doesn't get turned off because you don't have a bunch of clunky artifact lands and lotus petals and mock sopals and shit. Also, your combo matchups get better because you play Force Wall. But anyway, that's enough of me shouting about this deck. I wanted to give it a run. I'm probably going to do badly just because I've played Legacy for straight up 7 years, and I have cast cantrips in like barely double-digit amounts of Legacy matches, and I think all of those have been on stream. When I played like Stoneblade, I played like a Stoneblade League and a Storm League and like a Miracles League. And those might have been the only times I've ever cast a cantrip in my life. So, this probably won't go well, but Storm League was the special thing. God, I still remember the fucking the match where Cyrus just in chat was like, "You have lethal, have fun," and just like I sat there and like was just having a breakdown trying to figure out how to kill my opponent. Oh god. And then like I was halfway through doing it and I was like, oh shit, did I just like fuck up really badly? But I figured it out. I got there. We did it. It's okay. Cyrus still laughs about like when we played against Enchantress and I was like, there's no way there's Enchantress on Cyrus's sideboard guide, and then it just was. Cyrus just had every deck on his sideboard guide. Yeah, I was talking to White Faces about this list, and aside from the fact that I hate it morally, it also just does not look like my type of Magic. I hate watching the stream. I hate playing this league, so it's okay. But yeah, it's just like not even if the deck turns out to be really busted, I'm not sure if I can stand playing it. Like, I'm a big fan of like, if I enjoy playing a powerful deck, I'll keep playing it, even if I, like, fundamentally am against garbage that's happening in the format. Like, I was enjoying the normal Zirda deck a lot. But I also am of the opposite opinion. Even if a deck is, like, by far and away the best deck in the format, if I don't enjoy playing it, I, like, just can't do it. That's what happened with... I had a similar breakdown during the Breach era, where I tried Breach for a league, and I was like, I hate this, I just can't do it. Nice Miracles hand, yeah. The classic Miracles hand. I can't wait to, like, play an Astrolabe and then Ancient Tomb in, like, a turn 3 Supreme Verdict or something. That would be very funny. Alright, I mean, this hand just does seem keepable, right? It's got lands and cantrips. This is how you keep blue hands. Wait, did I? Oh yeah, I did click on Zirda. Okay, I thought I didn't click on it. Did I click on Zirda? Am I, like, going crazy? What's up, Tekka? How's it going? I mean, I'll keep this hand, yeah. My opponent also playing Flooded Strands. See, I'm already at a loss for, like, how I'm supposed to... Can't wait to... Yeah, I'm already at a loss of, like, how to cast these cantrips. Because, like, if I guess I'm, like, not supposed... I'm just supposed to, like, trop Preordain. But it just, like... Yeah, Preordain off trop makes sense. But, like, if I put out, like, a Delver start or something, am I supposed to try to play around Wasteland in some capacity? I want, like, a basic island. But then, like, if I fetch first, my Brainstorms get a lot worse. So I think I'm definitely supposed to Preordain trop with this nonsense. Or drop Preordain, whatever. I also just don't know what I'm looking for. I guess I'm just trying to kill my opponent. My opponent didn't reroll a companion and then went Flooded Strand to go. I don't want these. These don't do anything. But what am I looking for? My hand is top. God, I hate you people. Yeah, I feel like I do actually want one of these. To something like next turn I can, like, Brainstorm like fetch and cast a Ponder if I want or something. This is the same list that second place. Yeah. We'll take one Ponder. Yeah, the cool user one. We can't shuffle away the other one. We're gonna draw the other one. Oh, we're getting Sneak and Showed. Oh no. I should have mulled for Force of Will. What a fool I was. Oh, there's an Arcane Artisan. We can just plow it. Alright, cool. Main deck Arcane Artisan is interesting. So I'm supposed to like... Am I supposed to... Yeah, I could do this more efficiently, right? I could be in danger of like... Well, now Spell Pierce also is on my radar, but I can't beat a Spell Pierce because I have this Trop in play. Hang on, I need to think about this. Cantrips make me play so much more slowly. I hate it so much. Yeah, so I could Brainstorm preemptively to sculpt my hand better and also like dig for a Force preemptively to like try to force their Force on my thing. But it also plays into Daze if I do that. I just don't know how much that matters. Just Strand Go? I'm supposed to Strand Go against an Arcane Artisan? That cannot be right. They just make a Grizzlebrand and then I lose the game. Yeah, if I Strand Go, I'm going to die. It's a question of, do I want to Brainstorm before or after I Swords to Plowshares? I think I want to Brainstorm before. Yeah. Shove away this fucking Supreme Verdict. Yeah, I definitely want to find protection for Plow. This just like potentially plays into a Daze or something. Well, these cards all suck, as it turns out. I mean, I think I'm still supposed to shuffle away the Supreme Verdict. It could kill... No, I'm too slow to kill a... I'm too slow to kill a Emrakul if they like make one or something, so I think I just do need to shuffle this away. Yeah, keep Verdict in case they like miss, I guess. I do want another removal spell. Yeah. Put back one of these lands. And I guess I can put back this Ancient. Well. Yeah, Uncoverable Acts could matter if they don't have it this turn. Yeah, I can put back 2 lands because Ancient Doom is probably worth it because I don't need my life. So I can put back land. And then fetch a Tundra. Fetch the Tundra that I just put on top. Maybe I don't want the Ancient Doom because I have like so much blue shit in my hand. But yeah, like I'm so inexperienced with cantrips. I take like anytime I play a cantrip deck, I go to time like every fucking round. Get a Snowland. I don't think I need Snow-Covered Plains. I have like 3 Astrolabes that I would need to cast, and like this Flooded Strand can still. Yeah, the Show and Tell deck's playing Daze is why I was considering trying to plow before Brainstorming. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. And I'm gonna attempt to kill this. This is like a Spell Pierce. We couldn't beat... Oh, okay, Brainstorm, sure. We couldn't beat a Spell Pierce because we have the Trop in play. We could have like tried to like Ancient Tomb, play around Spell Pierce or something. I don't even think that would have been correct though. Yeah, I think I'm still fine with this. Getting more got by Daze. Oh no, they Force Will. Alright, well. We have to hope they miss for like 2 turns. We could also like try to find another Plow if they don't have Grizzlebrand. Oh, that's pretty good. That's not a bad one. Definitely not bad. So we're still getting pretty got by Grizzlebrand. I don't think I want to Brainstorm, because we don't want to play the Specialist Room, we want to play the Caracas. So I think I just want to ponder off Trop and try to find like a Plow or something still, and then go say Caracas go after. I hate this. All I'm doing, I haven't done anything this fucking game. I've been sitting here spinning my wheels for like 90 turns. It's turn 3 and I've made too many decisions. I think I just want to shuffle this. No, I don't want more lands, I don't want a Disaster Lab. No, there's an any order button, right? Shuffle, yes. Oh, that's not bad. We set up for the Supreme Verdict next turn. Maybe I'm supposed to brainstorm here anyway for a Plow. Because like plowing this is still good. Yeah, Grizzlebrand is what I was scared of. They only get to draw 7 cards at least. Might as well bounce this now. No reason to let them untap and like see extra things. They're just gonna restock to 7. Is there a reason to let them go to combat? They could have like sneak attack and another Grizzlebrand. Maybe I do just let them. Yeah, I don't think the 1 extra card information matters that much. Sneak attack like second Grizzlebrand would definitely be pretty punishing. Yep. They restock. How do we even do anything from here? We need a Monolith and a Mana Sink to just kill them. I think we're just supposed to force any show and tell. Or like sneak attack. Am I supposed to pitch the Supreme Verdict? Probably. The Caracas kind of reigns in this Arcane Artisan, honestly. It does not reign in the sneak attack nearly as well, so yeah. Assume they let that resolve because their hand is just like 9 more sneak attacks and show and tells and shit. Do I want to brainstorm here? Brainstorming sets me up to top. I think I do want to brainstorm here. Because we are definitely under the gun of like needing to find a lot of stuff really fast. Like brainstorm, fetch, on my turn, fetch, brainstorm again, try to find like Monolith, Ballista or something. Oh, we found a Monolith. We found this Oko too. Put back this Tundra, and it doesn't matter what the other card we put back. This thing can't activate, so we could just elk the Arcane Artisan. Concerned that we're just gonna get sneak attacked again. They're just gonna like land sneak attack me. I guess we could just have Caracas up though. So we could just... yeah, just elk the Artisan and leave up Caracas. That beats a sneak attack without a pedal at least. And we have the ability to try to find infinite mana with like the Brainstorm next turn. We don't need multiple green sources. We can just... I guess we can grab... we don't need multiple white either. We pitched our 1 Supreme Verdict. We have multiple white, so we could grab Island in case we try an Astrolabe. Yeah, Astrolabe better now with Oko as well. Alright. Don't even know if elking this does anything. It like doesn't even like matter for them. So we win now, right? We resolved an Oko. That is approximately how 2020 works, if I'm not mistaken. They're just gonna, like, show and tell omniscience me. Wait, we can beat sneak attack here because we have Caracas. Sure. So they're just lining up to try to beat me next turn with this sneak attack. Omni doesn't play sneaks, do they? Yeah, they usually just play... It's usually just sneak and show that plays omnisciences now. No attacks. I guess they're concerned. The 3 damage doesn't matter. Alright, so we'll untap here. Draw on Arkham's Astrolabe. So we want to Astrolabe, then Brainstorm, and then we still have enough mana to go off with Zirda. Assuming they don't have like a Force Wall, obviously. So I think we want to Astrolabe, then Brainstorm, just so we dig as deep as possible. This deck needs Lightning Bolt. Yeah, it'd be pretty nice right now, that's for sure. Alright, well. Now we can try to kill them. So if I play the Monolith now and then play the Zirda, we can still Brainstorm later, but we're not going to have any cards in our hand, so we won't be able to like Brainstorm plus pitch a card. Yeah, that was a pretty good draw, I would say. Just gonna hope they don't have a Force of Will, I guess. High roll the Veil. We don't have enough mana to do all of that. Because we're only going to have 1 mana open exactly when we try to untap. Yeah, we'll use the Astrolabe and leave a Caracas just in case. I think. No, that doesn't leave up the Brainstorm. But does the Brainstorm... Leaving up the Brainstorm doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, the Brainstorm... We're not casting the Brainstorm this turn. Lily's losing it. Alright, here's hoping for no Force of Wills. When they just Force... Hey, we did it! Our opponent's dead. We killed them. Yeah, they probably would have forced Zirda. But you never know. Because we could have had like 2 payoffs in the hand, so Force of Will and the Zirda is probably correct, because we had 3 mana left over after that, so like nothing we could have played would have been too scary. Nice. Gonna lie, fully expected that I was not going to win the game where I could have played a turn 2 Arcane Artisan and made a Grizzlebrand on turn 3. Deck is officially dumb. Yeah, alright, we did it. Deck unbeatable confirmed. Alright, I think we want all this stuff, and probably this Council's Judgment and this Disenchant. I don't think we care about Swords to Plowshares because we have stuff like Oko and like Teferi and other stuff, and I think these cards are just like too narrow and clunky. So you just get tired of losing to Norod? More or less, yeah. So we just do it like this. What else can we cut? Am I allowed to cut Astrolabes in matchups where they don't matter? Like, because we can just fetch a bunch of non-basics against my opponent? Can't wait to like just randomly turn one a Karn with this deck with like Ancient Tomb double monolith into Karn, just like surprise bitch. Lave is good. I mean, Lave is like fine with Oko and stuff, like it works. Yeah, I don't think this relic in the sideboard should be a relic. It feels kind of weird, but I just like got it straight up lifted the list. Cut win cons, yeah, that could be another option. They might bring in Moon. Oh, I guess that's a fair point. Could just like shave some like walking ballistas or something. Just be more in on the like force of will kill you with Oko plan, or even just like Microsynth Lattice them or something. Midnight Disenchant? No, we boarded in this Disenchant. Yeah, maybe this is okay. So as we can actually like shave. This Council Judgment seems questionably good. I don't know. It exiles sneak attacks and whatever they're called. Sneak attacks and their stupid loot thing that makes big dudes. It also exiles Omniscience in like very rare instances where they don't go off. Seems fine to me. Or they just show and tell in a Emrakul or something.
John.
What up?
Are you streaming?
Yeah.
Could you open this for me?
Open what?
Open. Thank you.
Nurse, you've been in a coma since 2018. I can't wait to see XJ Club play with a bunch of fair white cards on Legacy. Woof. Thanks for the 22-month resub, Army. I appreciate it. Alright, this hand has cantrips, and it has, I don't know, I guess it seems okay. A little awkward with the ability to both cast Council Judgment and have green mana for like an Oko or a Veil or something, but probably fine. I feel like I'm never supposed to mulligan hands with the lands and cantrips. That's what people do in Legacy, just all the time. Just like Snow-Covered Island Ponder. Dig for counter magic and stuff. Crocus is nice, but I think I want to shuffle this. I especially don't want to draw an additional land. Because we have to draw the Crocus as well, and we'd have to also like draw a Flooded Strand or something. I think we'd rather just take a blind. Could be okay. But with the Council Judgment, likely kind of redundant, unless they like play out a naked sneak attack. Hopefully we don't get turn 2'd. Our hand is very bad against my opponent trying to turn 2 me. XJ Blue Mage. What's up, Cliffy? Yeah, I've struggled. I've done nothing this whole fucking game besides cast cantrips, and I hate every second of it. No Nature's Chant. There's no basic forest, so it doesn't matter, right? Oh, Beseiju, that card's probably pretty hard to beat. Not used to losing to that card. I mean, my hand doesn't have any counterspells, so I guess it's fine. Island Trop. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm just not gonna play it out of principle. I just lifted this list from Cool User or whoever was playing it. Flusterstorm. That is less good than I would have enjoyed a turn ago. So I guess we're just trying to kill my opponent now. Not playing on principles. Yeah, I mean, that's totally valid. Alright, I think we want to brainstorm. I think we're just trying to kill my opponent real fast now. We're trying to set up Zirda Monolith. So we're going to brainstorm, shuffle away some of this clunkier garbage. My opponent's on Beseiju, so we don't really want counter spells as much. Flusterstorm can still be nice, like protecting my stuff from their counter magic if I'm trying to go off. But it's not free, which is also kind of problematic because it just means we have to hold out even more mana. I like the 3/4 Soul 1 Veil split, yeah. Well, there were a lot of interesting decisions about this list. The 3 Arkham's Astrolabe. So I'm not thinking about like just countering this. I'm letting it resolve. Oh, there's a Grim Monolith. That's pretty nice. Crocus is also nice. Protect us from just like show and telling a big dude. I don't think I want Council's Judgment because we have Disenchant for we have Disenchant for like a sneak attack or something, and we have Crocus for like a big creature. So I think we can shuffle away the Council's Judgment. And I think we can just shuffle away this Trop. We have enough land. We can keep the Crocus. Go like that. This. And then don't need to hold up Flusterstorm because it doesn't counter Show and Tell. We can just fetch Tundra and Ponder. God. How do people do this? It is so exhausting. You just have to make so many decisions in like the first couple of turns of the game. It's not just like, oh, I play my Aether Vial and then I play my Thalia or whatever. These cards look like they suck. Sometimes cantrips are easy, I guess, when your cards are bad. Alright, Force of Will is nice to protect my Monolith and stuff. Unfortunately, we can't go off next turn. Could we have gone off if we had the Astrolabe? No. If we had Astrolabe in play, we could, I think, go off. Land, Monolith is 4 mana. No, you need 5 mana with the Monolith in play to go off. So Astrolabe wouldn't help. If they just have a sneak attack here, too, we can at least try to, like, Force of Will it. Oh, no, they're just playing a Show and Tell. Guess I'm supposed to put in Grim Monolith here? If they put in Omniscience or whatever, I just die. And if I put in my Grim Monolith, I can go Caracas and then try to combo them with Force backup. So yeah, my Caracas doesn't actually save me from anything. Saves me from Sneak Attack plus... They have a Lotus Petal. It does actually save me from Sneak Attack. Maybe if I put in the Caracas. I still can go off, right? With the Caracas in play, because then I can go land Monolith off of land Misty, or the Misty plus the Snow-Covered Island, and then tap the Monolith. Yeah, I can still go off, so we put in the Caracas here. In case they have Sneak Attack. You think? I mean, we might not get a turn. I'm just trying to think of the ways that we actually win this game, which is if my opponent puts in a Sneak Attack and has, like, an Emrakul or something. If they put an Omniscience Emrakul or whatever, none of my decisions matter and we die. Yeah. Yeah, alright, cool. None of our decisions mattered and we died. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna run it back. I more or less like this plan. You go down on win cons. Good mana to hold up Disenchant into bounce. So yeah, we could have tried to play around that, but that only beats Omniscience if they don't immediately have the Emrakul too. We could have like not pondered and left up Show and Tell into Disenchant mana. Yeah. Don't think it was worth it. I think we're just gonna run it back. I would like to play first, yes. I'd like to reveal my companion, Zirda the Dawn Waker. See, I'm like already at 10 minutes. It's like game 3 gets Show and Tell. I'm not supposed to keep these hands, right? I'm just like not. These hands are very good if my opponent does not have Boseiju, I guess. Welcome to Blue Text. This is a Sneep. God, I hate every second of this. Yeah, versus 29. Yeah, we literally did see a Boseiju, and like this hand is very horribly wrecked by Boseiju. Yeah, I think we might just be trying to like try to race them, right? We could just like mull for like Monolith and stuff. Although we boarded out WinCon, so like we were definitely playing it. Maybe I should have like taken that into account when sideboarding, and like actually tried to race them and brought in back in more WinCons. But too late for that now. But yeah, I don't like this hand. Fufoko, I guess this is fine. God, I hate this. I'm gonna keep it. We'll learn. We'll learn how bad my brainstorms are. We're gonna play this land and not cast the brainstorm, and then we're gonna untap on turn 2. And we're gonna cast the brainstorm, and I'm gonna miss, and then I'm gonna die. Because that's how my brainstorms work. We could cycle fail, yeah. Maybe yeah, that might actually be. Yeah, that would be a reasonable play when our hand is like force, force, force. Just cycling veil. Oh, they're not going to cast a cantrip. Oh, at least we can ponder now. Ponder's better than brainstorming here, right? Because we can look at more cards theoretically. And you don't lose. Yeah, I mean, even if this ponder breaks, we have the brainstorm to try again. Like we don't just like lock ourselves out. Hey, lands and Force of Wills. I'll draw this land. Do I want? I don't think I want more Force of Wills, right? So like Force of Will, Preordained, Flooded Strand. Land plus force equals deck. I mean, I guess that is more or less accurate. We only have one brainstorm. Yeah, I think I want this Preordain. Force land or force Preordain land. No shuffle. Play the Flooded Strand. Sick go. We could even not shuffle next turn if we want the Force of Will and just cast the Brainstorm. We do need blue cards to pitch the forces, yes. At least my opponent has not played a Boseiju yet. That's nice. Also over there sculpting. Yeah, I think I'm interested in drawing the other Force of Will with this Brainstorm, shuffling away this Council's Judgment. Potentially this Veil. I guess shuffle if we have mana up, then the Veil's gonna be better than the 4th Force of Will or something. I do want this Preordain. Brainstorm. Lands. Look at all these lands. Nice. So we don't want this Council's Judgment. And we don't want... Veil of Summer means that... we do get to hold a Veil of Summer here, so I think it's nice. So I think we put back a... Do we put back a land? There's no way that's right? We only need 3 lands to really operate, except for on Karn. One of the 4 forces can go. Yeah, we probably hold up. We're not. Yeah. 2 drops, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna grab a Tundra here, I guess. I'm gonna fire off this Preordain. We want white sources for sure. So we can cast Zirda. We can play with the Windswept Heath in case we need to fetch, in case we want to hold up Veil this turn, or like cast Veil at some point. Wow, these cards suck. Bottom. Bottom. Ooh, Karn. It's not bad. Now we only hold up 1 force though. It's potential though. I didn't want to cast that Preordain, but I think 1 force and a Veil is good enough. Hopefully. Next turn we can just fire off the Karn, I guess. Wish for, yeah, we can like play the Karn, wish for a Basalt Monolith instead of for a kill the following turn. Potentially. We would need 5 mana. We need 5 lands to go off with Basalt Monolith without Zirda in play. Do we have anything else interesting to wish for? Potentially Ensnaring Bridge. Deck feels like 3 decks in 1, yeah. It's very weird thinking about Karn. Wow, are they just passing? We don't know our top card, so... Oh no, they're just going to main 2, I guess. Sure. God, this deck is so fucking confusing. Disenchant, not super exciting. We could play the Karn here. We put shields down a Veil, and then we only have 1 force up. How comfortable am I just the land go game? I guess only comfortable for 1 more turn. I don't think I want to go for anything here. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to wait. My opponent hasn't made any moves. It doesn't feel like it's a jam scenario. Also, because we don't have the 5th land, we can't set up Karn into like Monolith kill the following turn. I feel a lot more comfortable with another blue card or like at least a 5th land. I suppose now we're actually holding up Hardcast Force of Negation, plus Force of Will, plus Veil of Summer. Yeah, if they play just Besage you, I'll play the Karn. And probably wish for a Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, I agree. Jam on land 5. Or when they play Besage you. I 100% agree with these insights. I do have to worry about my clock a little bit, but making enough mana to kill them with Basalt Monolith is pretty, or with Grim Monolith is pretty easy. Sure. But I do want to be conscious of my time, because I play a lot slower when I'm trying to figure out how to cast a cantrip. I don't think I want to cycle this Veil. There we go, there's land 5. So we want to hold up the ability to fetch Veil, so I think we just want like Island Tundra. Comboing takes as long as yourself in Brainstorm, you're not wrong. So this fetches Trop still, right? Maybe I actually want to fetch it out right now to play around like some weird situation where I need to fetch and then it gets dazed or spell pierced or something. We could have played Zirda last turn. Yeah, that's true. We could have just ran it out. It's not super likely to die. Eh. Not used to tapping lands that tap for multiple colors. Wow, just resolved, huh? Alright, well, I'll grab this Basalt Monolith. And hopefully 1 force and a Veil of Summer is good enough. It might not be, because my opponent's been sculpting for a long time. Am I supposed to cast my Veil of Summer before the sneak attack resolves? Like, cast Veil of Summer, then cast Force of Will? Yes, right? Because then we just get to win, basically. If we cast Force, they force back, and then we Veil, and they have, like, Daze, but then they would just Daze the Veil anyway. But yeah, I think it's fine to Veil here. I think I'm going to Force Bitch... Oh, it just resolved. Yeah, I think I'm going to Force Bitch Force, because Force Negation could eventually be hardcast for cheaper. Although if we draw a blue card, we actually want to protect our combo next turn. So yeah, we'll use this Force Negation. Because if we draw a blue card, we want to be able to hold a Force Will to go off. There's another card. That's not super helpful, is it? They're dead. Oh, they're dead if they don't have a counterspell. I'm confused. They might only have like one counterspell here. Or they're dead. They might make me go off, so I have to ballista them quickly here. We need 34 mana. Luckily, Basalt takes 2, so this is actually extremely easy. Alright, but I did actually concede. Nice. Basalt Models making 2 mana with Zirda means that we could have just done that very quickly. What was their hand? They sculpted for so long, and then just didn't have any counters. Alright, well, take it, I guess. Yeah, this is a fucking... It's a really wild comparison to just, like, normal snow decks versus show and tell, where, like, okay, my opponent's at 17, we can cast an Oko or something, and then, like, in 4 turns they'll be dead, versus they just, like, die instantly. From one card. We played a Karn, and then over the course of the next turn, they immediately lost the game. Yeah, they could have had, like, more force. They could have, like, just been, like, a force check hand. Like, cast the sneak attack. Oh, it doesn't resolve. Alright, untap, cast the show and tell. Okay, it doesn't resolve. Untap, cast another sneak attack or whatever. Could have just been, like, one of those hands. Yeah, that was fucking wild. Even if they had, like, Force-a-Willed the Zirda there, we could have, like, at least, we could have, like, wished for an Ensnaring Bridge, too, and just, like, if they played Show and Tell, we could put in a bridge. Get why he calls it Splarks in 2020? Yeah, it makes sense. You just, like, play a control deck, then suddenly they're dead. It's Splinter's Wind, except you're just, like, on board, always showing your opponent I have twins, so they, like, have to think about it all the time, rather than, like, sometimes they'll be like, they don't have it, and, like, you do. I recognize this name, but I don't remember what they're on. Story of my life. Samu 27. It's okay, we'll just keep a hand of lands and cantrips again, just be whatever. Oh, look, lands and cantrips. Whatever. Keep. But it reveals Luris. Could be, you'd have to be a little bit concerned about, like, getting Delvered. Our hand is very susceptible to Wasteland, but now you know why Sarah's I never mulligan. Yeah, because they're just, like, blue decks. Oh, land spells. Alright, cool. Good to go. Yeah, this hand seems fine. Susceptible, like I said, susceptible to getting wastelanded if my opponent is on Luris Delver. just gonna say Trop Go. Obviously, not super interested in brainstorming on turn 1. You can hold up a Spell Pierce for something potentially. And I think if they are in Delver, Tundra is more important to protect, keep safe from like a Wasteland, because Plow. Not so, yeah, you're wrong. You're not wrong. Not susceptible to Stifle. Those could be like Storm here, hypothetically. Not 100% on Delver. Oh no, they're 100% on Delver. Alright, we'll cast this Brainstorm. I think we're supposed to cast this Brainstorm now. It's your 2015 Legacy jokes. I think I want to cast this Brainstorm. I don't know if it's right, but I'm going to stop looking at chat and hoping that they'll tell me what's right and start trying to make my own decisions. Alright. It's pretty good. I feel like this Veil is just going to be very hard to convert. Because, like, you just have to be holding up so much mana. I think this Teferi is also pretty clunky against Delver. We draw one of these, so we only get to, like, put away for one of these forever. So, I think I don't want the Teferi. And then if they have, like, a Thoughtseize, I think the Plow might actually be the best card in our hand currently. Oko might be a little hard to resolve. We could actually put away this Veil. Maybe they're both not great, Veil and Teferi. I think Veil is better because it's cheaper, though. You could potentially like Veil to protect a Plow. So yeah, Teferi, and then Plow, I guess. I guess I'm not supposed to have 6. Fuck. And I just say Flooded Strand go. And then remember to fetch before I draw. I have to be worried about, like, I think I want basic, I guess we could actually just cast this Ponder here, couldn't we? We could just fetch Island, cast Ponder. That looks better, because we still want to be hitting more land drops, especially against Wastelands. We're going to get stifled, and I'm going to cry. Oh no, we're going to get stifled, and I'm going to cry! Wrecked. Could have got non-fetch Ponder. Yeah, but I didn't want the top card of my deck. Well, we still have land Ponder, so it's not the end of the world. Might have wanted to just say go. I'm not sure how heavily I was actually supposed to be playing around Stifle. I'm not sure how much it's been catching on. Sure, that card doesn't do a lot. Oh yeah, we have to draw the Teferi now too, look. Yeah, we definitely could have said go, potentially. Don't think I want any of these cards because they're all uncastable. Oh, definitely didn't want that. Delver versus Control. Well, they played a Bug Land and also Stifle, so... Oh, fuck, yeah, we're dead. Dead skis. We'll just draw a land. It'll be fine, chat. Don't worry. That's like a land, right? It taps for mana. I'm glad this is where we are. This is where we deserve to be. Let's be real. You play Allures or whatever. But I play Ponder or Brainstorm now. How do I get mana screwed? Yeah, I have Astrolabes in my deck. My opponent shouldn't have. My opponent's Wasteland shouldn't be good. What the heck? Alright, I think it's time to pack it in. Alright. Things I want against Bug, Stifle, Luris. Delver. I don't know. I hate this already. I hate sideboarding. I don't like any of this. This is completely miserable. Things I don't want. These Teferis. Things I do like, yeah. Things I was considering was like these cards. Might be correct to cut Forces versus Luris Delver. Because they are less on Haymakers. I'm questioning if we're gonna get through a full leaf before I uninstall Moto. We could actually probably go down on Karn. Karn seems like really clunky against this. I don't think the verdict is good. I think it's okay. Definitely want to be able to answer like big, stupid. Oh yeah, sideboard like libraries and warbs. Yeah, I gotta think about those cards now. Fuck. God, playing control decks sucks. You gotta think about so many scary cards. They do have sideboard haymakers, which means you want force more. I think these Teferis just straight up suck. I think Teferi's just like really clunky and bad for Delver. Maybe we want to go down on Karns. What does this look like? Yeah, Verdict definitely hard to cast for Delver is notable, especially for like through Stifles and Wastelands. Maybe it's just like an impossible feat, and we just have. The problem is that like if we don't have Verdicts, we're leaning really hard on like Sword and Splashers to answer threats because we don't get like Snapcaster Mages or Ice Fink Waddles or something. We have these Ballistas, which are really bad at killing things. It's like we do want to be able to kill my opponent's cards. Yeah, I can see Pierce is going down. Although, like, isn't Pierce like better than Flusterstorm? Because Pierce answers, like Winter Orbs and libraries. Do I want Veil? I probably want Veils. Don't want all these red cards. I don't have a basic forest. I guess I have Astrolabes, but I don't have a basic forest, which makes me not want these green cards as much. Fluster is better against Stifle. I guess you're not wrong. How much am I scared of Stifle versus am I scared of? We're gonna go down to Karn because it's big and clunky. Call it a day. Land spells. Keep. This is one too many Grim Monoliths, but that's why we have Brainstorm. We can just fetch basic island off of Pluto Delta, say go. Next turn we can think about lining up like brainstorming away this monolith or whatever. Just very aggressively play around Stifle. Tundra Go? I don't like Tundra Go at all. It's like no reason to get wastelanded, right? Don't really think I think if anything I want to be getting these fetches out of my hand to make the Stifles less annoying. And like we already have the fetch to go with this brainstorm if they don't just go land go. Like if they play a thing. Play like a goose here, I guess that's another reason for Supreme Verdict, because goose is spooky. More Snow Covered Islands is nice. Do you have to be worried about our ability to both cast Sword Splashers and cast green spells, of which we have 5 in our deck? I think we're just going to be fetching basic planes, though. I guess it depends on what this Brainstorm hits, too, right? Am I supposed to cast, yeah, Brainstorm into the fetch? I'm, like, kind of scared of getting this Brainstorm dazed, because I do actually want this Brainstorm to resolve a lot. Well, these cards are pretty good. Now we definitely want basic planes, so we can go basic planes, basic island, Tundra, Verdict you. Don't want the second monolith. And I don't think we want this Force of Will. I am concerned about a turn 2 thing. We could just draw a card and play the Island Leaf with Spell Pierce rather than fetch it, because I would have to fetch the planes right now. And that means I wouldn't get to leave up Spell Pierce, and I kind of want to leave up Spell Pierce this turn. So we could just draw. We could put, like, the Supreme Verdict on top, play the Island, say go, and leave up Spell Pierce this turn. Doesn't seem heinous to me. Like, only kind of. I guess this first of all doesn't actually have anything to pair with it, is the issue. But I can't shuffle anything more than the Monolith away unless I don't want to get rid of swords and try to hit a Verdict Man. That seems extremely ambitious. I think I'm just gonna do that. I think I want to be holding up Spell Pierce here. I guess that, well, then we didn't want to put the Verdict on top, because we might have wanted to have a blue card to pitch to the Force. I was thinking more along the lines of like getting Thought Seized or something this turn, but we were just, like, Spell Piercing a Thought Seized anyway. Yeah, that was wrong. Hopefully they don't punish me horribly from... Okay, they're not punishing me horribly. Nice. We get untap. The problem is that we also... What's the top card of our deck right now? It's the second Monolith. I do have to be worried about getting stifled. But I think we're still just going to go Flooded Strand go. We just, like, Spell Pierce a Stifle if we really wanted to. Luckily Mongoose is, like, really slow. Now we just need to find something to pair with the Monolith to kill them. Am I supposed to fetch here? I really don't want to. I don't want to draw this other Grim Monolith, though. But it really feels like Swords... Yeah, I mean, Swords doesn't do anything against the Goose, but we're going to Verdict the Goose. We want to be able to Swords other things later. This isn't the only threat they're going to play, especially because they could, like, lure us back the Goose at 4 mana. I think I'm just... They're doing nothing, which means I think I'm just supposed to say go. I don't think I want to start a fight about my Flooded Strand. But I really don't want to draw this fucking... You're supposed to fetch while your Pierce was live? Yeah, I might have wanted to just fetch and, like, Pierce the Stifle last turn on, like, on their upkeep. That might have been the correct play. Because now we can't, like, Pierce the Stifle. I think now I'm supposed to draw my bad card and bemoan my poor playing. Am I supposed to play a Grim Monolith yet? I think so. I think I might tap my Tundra to do it. So I can leave up a thing that doesn't get wastelanded. Cool. We have, like, potentially, like, Force Pierce to force through our combo. Oh, I did make that this thing for... I think I fetch now. I made a command for exclamation point deck list because people type that all the time, but I did not make a command for exclamation point deck. But anyway, there is a Cardboard Live icon, Cardboard Live extension, if you're looking for the deck list. Maybe I'm supposed to fetch now while my Spell Pierce is online. Break your fetch in response to opponent. Oh, they did Brainstorm, that's true. Why is white better tap leave open? Like, what are we playing on this turn? They have a Nimble Mongoose in play. If they have, like, Wasteland for my Tundra, we want to be able to hold up a Spell Pierce. Yeah, luckily, like I said, this Mongoose is just exceptionally slow. That's how I always felt about Mongoose whenever I played Death and Taxes. It's just like, this card sucks against, like, everything besides the Delver Mirror. Yeah, now I'm gonna Wasteland my Tundra. So we're off Verdict mana. Spell Pierce something? Oh, nope. That's a Collector Roof. We can plow that at least. Now we can actually fetch, too. So this is fine. Also, potentially try to line up a Supreme Verdict, but we would have to draw another white source. So this resolves, and now we can finally fetch our basic planes here. Do it on our upkeep, though, right? That's just like the more correct time to fetch. Because like they could have like Stifle plus Daze or something and punish me super badly. Yeah. Yep. They're gonna try to stifle me. And Spell Pierce the Stifle. They're gonna force a will my Spell Pierce? That's insane. I guess I'm supposed to force pitching Verdict here? And then we can still just plow this oof. We're still a white mana away from actually comboing though, which is kind of awkward. But we're also white mana from casting the Supreme Verdict. Yeah, I get this is why Fluster is better at fighting Stifle. I got that the first time. But I was also concerned about them casting like a Winter Orb or a Sylvan Library. I think I am supposed to fight over this though. Yeah, getting Threshold is definitely spooky. Now we'll draw a card. Ponder's nice. Don't even know if I want to fire off a Ponder into a Daze. They have 2 cards in hand. Definitely need to plow the Zoof to do anything. I definitely also need to cast this Ponder to do anything. We're at 14. This is a 5-turn clock. There's also Lurrus to worry about. So do you think I am under the gun? I guess we actually unlock our. We could potentially we could pay for a Daze with the Monolith and cast another Monolith. So it's fine. Oh, there's an infinite mana sink. These cards are pretty good. Plow doesn't beat Mongoose. We're obligated to play the Oof this turn. That's true. I want all these cards because I want cantrips. I want this Ballista as a mana sink, and this Plow is okay, I guess. So, which card do I want to draw this turn? If I get Thoughtseized, I don't care about the Plow, so Plow, Preordain, Ballista, but then we can't fire off the Preordain because we know the Ballista's on top. I think I want to draw the Ballista because there's a chance we can bottom this Sword Splasher, so we might not need it. Yeah, we need the second white, so let's put the Plow on top, then this Preordain, or then the Ballista, then the Preordain. Yeah, I've been thinking, like, I'm not sure that, like, cutting Daze on the draw is just, like, the thing. Oh, I shouldn't worry about Daze because they probably don't have it, especially in a deck that has Stifle. So we could potentially still need the Plow if we want to, like, kill a Zirda or something. We could Preordain to draw the Plow and fire it off on a... Not Zirda, Lurrus. Sorry. Keeps coming in. Lurrus time? Yep. Maybe I wanted to do this the other order? No, because like I said, there was a chance that we didn't want to draw the Plow this turn, but maybe that was incorrect because my opponent was almost assuredly going to cast Lurrus this turn. Now we need to Preordain into the Plow and hopefully find a white source. We also just find the white source. That's a trop. That is not a white source, objectively. will say right now, one of the things that did concern me when I was looking at this deck was that the mana base definitely did feel wonky. I think there might be room for improvement there, but I am also very bad at building mana bases, so I have no idea if that's the case. So now we need to draw any land or Astrolabe. Any land? No, there's a second drop we could draw. My opponent also has 5 cards in hand, which is a lot more than the cards I have in hand. So we never got to get rid of the second monolith because I fucked up on like turn 3 or whatever. Playing blue decks is hard. It's just like draw a white source and never get punished. Ooh, that's terrifying. At least we're not dead because they're not a bold deck. You having upkeep stop. Alright, well, it's certainly not getting better for me, so we're gonna hope their 4-card hand has 0 Force of Wills in it. Because I can't beat those. Gonna stifle this. I think I was supposed to actually... Hey, we did it. They don't know if this Ballista in hand, right? Why would you concede here? They have not seen this Walking Ballista. That seems like a weird concession to me. Alright. Maybe I guess on the draw, Spell Pierces get harder to capitalize on. But yeah, like I was talking about, the mana base could maybe use some ironing out. Seems kind of ambitious to be playing this. They know he goes Bobble. Did they bobble? Oh yeah, they might. Yeah. You're right. They might have bobbled me that turn. Way back when I put the Ballista on top of my deck. Yeah, smart. Because the bobble that they played off the Luris had to have been popped at some point earlier. So yeah, they might have seen the Ballista. Yeah, you're totally right. That must have been it. Anyway, how do I want to do this? Maybe I do want all the Pierces. Go further down on Force of Wills. Force of Wills seems really hard to cast in this matchup, especially when we're on the draw and we have to deal with like dazes and shit. But I mean, also being free is also helpful to actually train to beat daze. I don't know. Sideboard's hard. Just gonna submit. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, chat. Good. We got a solid 14 minutes. We're not even that behind my opponent on the clock. We're playing faster. We're learning. Even though I fucked up like very badly in like the first 3 turns of that other game, and it almost cost me. It seems fine. We have good mana, which is important, and we have a Brainstorm. We have 2 payoffs, which is kind of clunky, but could potentially convert this Ballista into something else. Seems like a pretty easy keep. Astrolabe can really smooth out this mana. Cool. Council's Judgment. It's a nice card to have. I'm gonna him to Turok me. I'm just gonna ponder, sure. My opponent's been sitting back on these hands a lot. Just like playing extremely reactively. I guess that's just kind of how Stifle goes. You definitely just want to be holding up your mana a lot more. Luckily his hand is just way better against Stifle. We can just like play Plains Go here. Caracas, not great. Yeah, I don't think my opponent just religiously holding up 1 mana forever. I don't think we're going to get a chance to cast this Brainstorm anytime soon. So I think I just want to be having more mana up. We don't have any like soft permission to try to fight through a Stifle or anything. They're doing something. Cloaked Roof, sure. My mana's pretty good even without this Arkham's Astrolabe, and this opens up a turn that I can Brainstorm here. Could Judgment this Oof if I want to, but I don't think there's a need to. We get to even fetch another basic here. Oh man, we actually had... almost had the kill this turn. We're a mana short. It's good to line up as soon as we answer this oof, which might be a while. So we want to Brainstorm. Plow's very good. Oko, honestly, also pretty good. A lot of these cards are good. I don't think we need the Caracas. And this Tropical Island. We actually can't cast the Oko without the Trop until we get this Oof off the board. But we're going to plow this Oof this turn. Anyway. I think I want everything else here. So yeah, I think I don't want this Trop. We could put one of these things back, potentially. This deck is the result of individual power level threats going too high. Yeah, look at our hand. I think this is fine. Then we do this. And then we fetch another island. The one thing is that we don't have protection for our combo right now. I think I like Force Will Dispower or something. That'd still be fine though, because we can have Judgment through a Daze next turn. Yep. Force Pitch Stifle. That's fine. There's also a chance we can just convert this Karn into just like useful cards, find an Ensnaring Bridge or something. Warb, that's a little bit worse for me. Especially with, well, they're a little bit of mana away from Luris. Veil of Summer. Pretty hard to cast here. I think I'm supposed to wait. Don't think there's a reason for me to walk into what could be like a Spell Pierce or easily a Daze or something. Am I gonna need to Judgment this Winter Orb? I mean, the problem is that we actually don't have green mana to like try to Oko anything afterwards. The problem if we Conjure Judgment the Oof is that we can't do anything afterwards because all our lands are tapped into a Winter Orb. It has like a Tarmogoyf here too. It's second Oof. Alright, well I know what we're gonna try to kill now, I guess. We have a Force of Will now, which is nice. We're at 15. So we're playing after we kill this Wind Orb. They untap, they can like lure us, and they have a giant board. We have no Supreme Verdict and no removal, and can't cast Oko. We at least like force the Lurrus. We get Karn for an Ensnaring Bridge, but we also have to empty our hand, which is impossible currently. Nothing else does anything. I think I'm still supposed to Council Judgment this orb and try to draw something. Joke's on me, maybe I did want to keep the Tropical Island. Maybe not. Maybe they'll force this. Nope. I don't think this is quite over yet. We need to draw something good. It's like Supreme Verdict, obviously. We have 2 in the deck. That would just be insane here. Definitely not advantaged. But we have things we can do. Their clock isn't, like, we have, like, four turns to live or something. If we draw like a green source too, we can get Oko down, and Oko is just busted. It's a bauble that they can't activate because they have 2 Collector Roofs in play. Nice deck building. That's a Grim Monolith. That one's pretty bad, I have to say. Going to 7 next turn. I think I want to play out one of these monoliths because there's something else I'm casting this turn. We'd play a 2/2 Ballista that blocks an oof. Could also like get eaten by removal or like daze or something, but I think 2/2 Ballista might actually be the play. Could easily eat a removal spell or something, but we have the Karn here if we ever actually get to make infinite mana. We could have just like played Zirda here. 3/3 blocks 2/2s, but yeah, the Ballista could potentially absorb a removal spell for the Zirda. We might play the Zirda next turn. I think I'm just supposed to snap off Force Will if they Lurrus me. Or we could just draw Supreme Verdict, that'd be nice. Sure. That is green mana. You can also cast Karn. Yeah, the Karn doesn't do anything. Like, we're 900 turns from bridging. We could play Karn when we have like Monolith in play to like make a 2/2 to block. But I think we'd want Monolith in play first. Do still have to be worried about Stifle. Huh. If we get Stifled and we like force all the Stifle, we can only pitch the Oko. So that doesn't do anything. But like Oko Elk my Astrolabe here is honestly just a pretty good line. I think it's my best bet here. Hope they don't have a Stifle. They did pitch 1 to a Force of Will earlier. Yeah, looks better here than casting Karn or something, I think. We could also cast Zirda here as an option. But not in love with that either. They have force, and we can't force back. That's bad. Get this Monolith out of my hand. Now we go to 2, so Zirda doesn't even do anything either. So basically need to draw Supreme Verdict. Yeah, the second oof was a real beating. Supreme Verdict. Could also draw like a Plow. Plow plus Karn could potentially still get us across the finish line. I guess if not, if they Luris me here, which they might. Supreme Verdict, one-time dealer. That's just a Force of Will. That would have been nice last turn. Not so much this turn. I guess we drew the land last turn. But yeah, no, we're super dead, as it turns out. Yeah, definitely could have played this differently and it might have ended up quite differently. Cantrips continue to be hard. 5 mana. Yeah, we don't do anything. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I think a lot of that match was, in addition to like me misplaying, was just like the mana base. I think could definitely use some work. I think not playing a basic forest seems really weird in a world that like Delver is extremely prominent. Lands, cantrips. Cantrips. Luris, yeah, I assume he's still on Chess Guy. Playing his Arkin. Sure. Yeah, just Snow Covered Island go. Let's see who the Sith is here. Certainly neither of us are the good guys. We're both playing companions. I think Luris is certified bad guy material, though, in terms of every format right now. So if you're not playing Luris, you're instantly, like, at least less bad than the Luris player. Less evil. Is Reanimator the good guy now? That's certainly a question. What is this? Oh, wow. Wow, you're not on the same deck either. Looks like Arkin's playing the JTL list. The blue-white hate bears stuff. Blue-white unplayables, something like that. It's got Fathom Seer, Knight of the White Orchid, that one guy that fetches lands, Weathered Wayfarer, fucking Fathom Seer, Weathered Wayfarer, Wombo combo. Back on normal 4-color loam? Interesting. So I want to fetch basics against the Wasteland deck, for sure. So we're definitely just going to fire off this Brainstorm. Oko is cool. Yeah, the fact that you can't fetch basic forest to like cast Oko feels really weird. We definitely don't want this many lands. We put back this Trop and like one of these other lands and just fetch a basic Plains and say go. Yeah, this deck has felt very weird that I've never had access to a basic forest. Like, when you're playing against Delver and you, like, want to cast Okos and stuff, it just feels, like, pretty miserable. So we put back this Trop, certainly. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 other lands. This deck kind of caps out at 4-ish. So we can put back a land here. And just grab a basic Plains and say go, set up to potentially cast this Oko the next turn. Why am I fetching now? There's no reason to fetch now. What did it cost you to buy 3 Okos online? I wouldn't know. I rented them all. Could have potentially just fetched another basic island and cast this Ponder this turn, actually. This deck plays Daze, right? Pretty sure it does. So I don't think I just want to be firing off this Oko on turn 3. Grim Monolith, alright. Well, we can start setting that up, too. My opponent passing with a shit zillion mana definitely means that I don't want to be going for anything flashy this turn. Could just Ponder. Don't think I want to Brainstorm. My hand is mostly cards that I want. Don't think there's punishment for if I wanted to get Monolith in play right now. I don't think that gets punished by anything in this deck. So we could just go land, Monolith, go. How in the world could you rent all these? Because I owned, like, the normal deck. I had to actually buy a Grim Monolith because I was, like, slightly over the my $300 cap. I think I just want to run out my Grim Monolith here. I don't think this deck can play Spell Pierce. I think it's just Dazes and Forces. Left with 3 mana, though, which is, like, just so much mana. 2 Dazes, maybe? Maybe I didn't want to just cast this turn. But I like getting this Grim Monolith into play because it gives me the options of trying to go for Zirda next turn or just, like, just continuing to, like, keep up this threat and, like, casting Okos or stuff. Oh, you're softballing me, but playing my sponsor. I get you. Yes, card order is great, though. This deck is like a bazillion tickets, and the only reason I can stream it today is because I didn't have to spend all of those tickets buying these fucking Okos and Teferis and stuff. Ark and having a deep think about this. Alright, cool, resolved. Happy about that. There's a chance I wasn't supposed to play it this turn, but I'm not sure. So now we have the threat of infinite mana at any point. We have 1 Forces protection if we wanted to try to go for it, which I don't think I like doing. So my opponent just passed with 3 mana up and 6 cards in hand. Which feels like it's multiple pieces of interaction. But we can also just force our opponent to answer other things like Oko or Ponder into like more stuff. I think next turn I just want to cast Oko through a Daze. And then force if they force. I might go for it if they tap out. Hey Landon, thanks for the host. Appreciate it. Hope your stream went well. Welcome, welcome to all Eric's viewers. We're playing some Bant, Zirda, design mistakes today. Alright, Lavinia doesn't stop me. It does prevent my Force of Will, though, notably. They also have a Crocus. They can protect it for whatever that's worth. I think I just want... It's... Maybe I just want to force this Lavinia, because otherwise I don't get to force anything else for the rest of the game. Force the Lavinia, untap, play Oko. If they force it, we have the Zirda lined up the following turn. If we force it and they have like land, Luris, Lavinia, I guess at that point it doesn't matter, because the only reason I'm forcing it is because I can't force anything else. I think I do want to force this. And then we're just going to untap and cast Oko. Yep, he forces the Oko, pitching Daze, which is fine. And we have, he has 2 cards left in hand. He could like Zirda Bobble. If he Zirda Lavinias, it doesn't matter because we have enough lands to go off through a Lavinia. Could just Luris Bobble here, which is what it probably is going to be. He only has 4 cards now after he draws here. That was a Brainstorm before. Going for it if we wanted to, since we have plenty of mana. We could potentially find like Force and blue card or something, or like a Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce would be nice. We have 3 of those in the deck. Veil of Summer, another nice one we could draw. Yeah, we could draw out a lot of cards. I'll cast this Brainstorm, and then fetch Tundra, cast Zirda. And if Zirda gets countered, we also just have the Karn for Karn value. Draw Ponder. Is that better than Brainstorming here? I think it is. Force of Will, that's nice. Alright, cool. We'll draw the Force of Will, and then we can just go for it with Force back out. My opponent has 2 cards in hand. Am I supposed to actually play around removal by fetching with this Flooded Strand first? I think I do, because then I'll have access to 4 mana, so I can like untap again. Makes my Brainstorm worse, but I think this game is just going to be ending this turn regardless. Snow Crash, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. Oh, we actually have to have 4 mana up here because they have Caracas. Which is interesting. So actually fetching with that was just like straight up correct, or like the rule like that for Caracas, yeah, exactly. Definitely was about to walk into that one. I'm used to having access to like so much mana that Caracas never matters, but it definitely, the margins matter a lot more. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered with just Caracas, though, right? Because, like, they would have Caracas and we could have just fetched untapped again. Force Pitch Daze. Force Pitch Brainstorm. Yeah, now we should be fine. do have to make enough mana to kill. Guess I don't have a blue card. I mean, they would need like mana plus blue card, right? Nice Caracas. What does it do? Unfortunately, this does mean we just need to sit here and make 36, 37 mana. Arkin telling me that I can just show him the win con and he'll concede because he knows. I trust Arkin. So I'll let this resolve. But also I'll flow 3 more mana. I trust that Arkin's not fucking scumming me. Alright, cool. Obviously, if some random opponent tells you that, you don't necessarily need to believe them, but Arkin's a cool guy. I certainly trust him enough to just, when he says, oh yeah, I'll concede your win con, I know you can make infinite mana here. Anyway, versus this deck. What is this deck? Blue-white stuff. Feels like Supreme Verdict is a card I definitely want against like Meddling Mages and Lavinias and stuff. Don't think I want like to fight these counter battles because my opponent has a lot of creatures in addition to like Force Days. My opponent is probably going to be boarding up to like 6 or 7 Force of Wills, like with Force of Negation and stuff. So I think Force of Will is good enough, but I don't think these spell-based things matter enough. I don't think Veil matters either, because Veil doesn't do anything except against Force of Will. Cut to Fairy. Yeah, I'm working more working of what I want to board in first, which I think is just like these cards. These cards. Fairy might actually be okay because it's decent against shitty mana or like shitty tiny creatures and also good against like stack-based interaction. But we have to cut something somewhere, right? Probably cut these Spell Pierces first. Might have Null Rods on the board. I don't think I care about Null Rod that much. We have Okos and stuff. I'd expect Stony before Null Rod, and I suppose we can't Oko a Stony Silence, but we also don't need to combo kill them, right? We can like grind them out with like Oko and stuff, like Karn, Lattice, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. That's the appeal of playing this list, right? Is that if they board in Okos, we don't, or if they board in like Stony Silences or Null Rods, we don't care that much. We can afford to have like plan Bs that are easily workable through Null Rods. I think I'm okay with just -3 Pierce plus these cards. Force Negation I think is definitely bad because I think I'm more protecting my cards with forces rather than countering their spells. Flusterstorm or Veil I could see. We have Veil still in the main deck. I think Pierce looks better than Veil? Is that accurate? Because like our board wipes already uncounterable, so we don't need to like necessarily protect it. This Spell Pierce feels weird, but at least it's a blue card, like it pitches to Force of Will. And then call it a day here. That seems fine. I think I'm okay with this. What's this list? This is, I got top 2 on the super qualifier, super PTQ thing yesterday. Bant, Zirda. Bant design mistakes. Yeah, from Cool User, friend of Peter PVDH, Peter Vanderham, I think. Lands, cantrips, pretty good in. Just always keep hands because they just have lands and spells. Yeah, Peter Vanderham, one of his friends. apparently cooked up this Mad Lad list. So we can just fetch Island here and Ponder. Pretty sure his deck doesn't play Stifle. It'd be pretty wild. Grim Monolith is nice, lines up with my Ballista. Ponder is nice. Land, not necessarily great. We'd always shuffle it away if we want to next turn. So yeah. Land. We're not getting Thoughtseize, so actually putting the Monolith in my hand first makes more sense, I think. Because I could potentially get bobbled and they could see the Monolith. Not that it necessarily matters, but... Oh, is Cool User who worked with Cool User worked with him to build that like Delver Underworld Breach deck? It's neat. So I don't want to draw my 5th land. Actually, I might want to. Not necessarily dislike it. I'm just wondering if I want to shuffle here. My opponent just got land go, which is weird. We could just go land go ourselves. I don't think we necessarily need to brainstorm. I think I'm okay drawing the 5th land, especially because it's another fetch. We could potentially pair with the brainstorm in future turns. Yeah, Lurrus is super dead for sure. Post the article 2 days later, Breach got banned. Yeah, it was pretty sad. Yeah, I think Lurrus is definitely dead. I think most of the companions should go with it, but there's definitely a world where they only ban Lurrus, and that's why that's one of the reasons I'm pretty interested in Zirda. We're just playing a land go over here. So now we have fresh cards. Now we can ponder if we wanted, or we could brainstorm if we wanted. What are we looking for? My opponent's not doing anything, so my opponent just has like a fuck ton of interaction. So we just want things to like force their hand. Alright, it's a bunch of lands. We don't need a bunch of lands, certainly. Put back this Tundra. Put back this Scalding Tarn. Play Flooded Strand. Say go? Do I want to ponder this turn? I think I do. Council's Judgment, Preordained Trop. I'm not super interested in any of these. Council's Judgment could maybe be relevant. It's expensive, though. We could draw Council's Judgment Preordain, because we're definitely going to be fetching Planesplains Island, so we would be able to cast it on something at some point. Maybe we could draw Judgment and Preordain. Shuffle away the Trop next turn. I'm a little concerned about whatever my opponent is planning. I want to find like Force of Wills and Okos and stuff. So that helps me force through my combo. Because my opponent just has not been making a single move. So top card of our deck is another land. Sir, when are you done? Not for a while. We're in round 3, so feel free to keep doing what you're doing. I think I just want to fetch here. Preordain? Plow and Karn Great Creator. I like Karn. Karn helps me force check. Plow, I think I could do without a removal spell and a Verdict. And my opponent's keen on not casting any spells here. I'm a little concerned about like, Cataclysm or something. Astrolabe, sure. We are getting drunk on Zoom with my cohorts. That's fine. We don't have to cook today. We can cook tomorrow. Alright, I'll play this Astrolabe. Teferi is a good force check card for sure, because they just have to counter it. My opponent's gonna like move to discard next turn. I almost just want to cast it next turn. My opponent didn't play a land this turn, so my opponent I think is forced to make a move, like cast something next turn. I think I'm just gonna say go. Should I play a bobble and say go? I guess I can crack it now. I'm deeply concerned if he just passes the turn here. Jesus, Arkin, what are you doing, bud? What is that hand? I'm very scared of my opponent's hand right now. I mean, my opponent has 8 cards in hand. We have also 8 cards in hand, so I do actually need to cast a card here. This is just 100% getting countered. Yeah, not knowing is definitely the scary part. This deck has so many creatures in it. Like, how can you have a hand of 7 cards and just cast nothing every turn? This is just hard cast Force of Negation. Yeah, I expect my opponent's hand has a lot of Force. Yeah, that makes sense. Now we just say go. Potentially brainstorm on their end step here. We'll just untap and brainstorm, but we have 2 brainstorms. But like, again, like, all my cards are pretty good. Yeah, are we getting cataclysmed? Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, we have a bunch more lands, so we can just redeploy. I'm gonna just sack this fetch because we actually just are short on fetchables at this point. So we're just gonna end up drawing all the cards we need anyway. Because we can shuffle away 1 with our Scalding Tarn if we want. We're gonna keep Island. I think I want 2 win cons to beat a Force of Negation. Or like a Force of Will that doesn't hit Zirda. We don't want the Verdict. My opponent's going to lose all their lands. So we don't want the Verdict. And then we're going to draw whatever here anyway. So we'll just put back whatever. Council of Judgment resolves. We'll keep Island Astrolabe. So there's a Supreme Verdict on the top of our deck. I don't necessarily want to draw it. I am worried about Wasteland. My opponent obviously still has 7 cards in hand. Worried about cards like Wastelanded Days. Yeah, my opponent basically did cast Balance. We both had 7 cards in hand. think I just want to say go here. Yeah. Arkin was asking if I was surprised by the cat. He was hoping I was surprised by the Cataclysm. I'm a D&T player. That I smelled a Cataclysm coming from a mile away. So next turn, do I want to go Caracas Monolith? We have a Verdict on top of our deck, but we can't fetch any non-basics. I might fetch a Tundra here. Depending on if my opponent plays like a Wasteland or something. I definitely don't want to draw the Supreme Verdict. There's an Oko. Can't play an Oko through a Daze, though. I think this is a Grim Monolith turn. Helps when you like play around Daze in the future. This deck is so confusing. Mine or my opponent's? Both are valid answers. So now we line up the combo. Opponents? Yeah, opponent's deck is definitely wild. JTL is a madman. This Metal Mage resolves. You can untap and plow it. If they didn't plow, then like we just walk through it. If they didn't plow. Okay, we can just walk through it. Or we could judgment it too. Get Oko it. We could do a lot of things. Get a lot of plows. I think I just want to elk it. We have so many plows in our hand. I guess if that's the case, we could judgment it, but I'm concerned about Daze. If my opponent dazes to force me to tap the Monolith, it's a little bit clunky. Opponent just knows what's on the top of my deck. Wow, yeah. What cheats? This is game 2 and I'm running out of time, so I need to play faster. Maybe I wanted to play Oko here, but I'm expecting a force. In all honesty. Yeah, I know Arkin's streaming. We're both streamer. If I wanted to ghost him, yeah, I would hope that's in jest. So if he dazes this, am I supposed to pay for it? I think so. I'm gonna play a Ballista for 1 as a follow-up. He doesn't daze. Interesting. Okay. Well, we killed the Meddling Mage is nice, because now we have double plow in our hand. Got like another Meddling Mage, maybe? Yeah. We'll leave an Oko for this one, but he thought so long about the Council Judgment. I think my Oko is not going to resolve. We can also just go for it at some point. He still has 6 cards in hand, so I don't see any reason to currently. I think this Oko is getting Force of Willed. Yeah. Can you check your opponent's stream? Isn't that against rules somehow? There's no rule saying it because there's no rule for it. There's no rule about streaming, so there's no rule against stream sniping. Or ghosting, as some people call it. As far as I know, those are the same thing, ghosting and sniping. Well, we still have a kill lined up here. If we find another mana, and there's a Fathom Seer. That represents a lot more magic cards. You know, they have 6 cards in hand. Well, technically they have 8, but just brainstorming here. We don't have that many more lands in the deck. If we miss, it is very awkward. Oh, never mind. We can just cast this Oko and Elk this Meddling Mage. My Oko still lives. Oh, the creatures they just cast. It's Fathom Seer, yeah. Opponent's deck is wild. Fathom Seer. It's a morph. What's it called? Gush. I'm gonna Elk your Meddling Mage because I have 2 Swords of Plowshares in my hand. Say go. My opponent can only attack the Oko for 4 here. Played that in Time Spiral Limited? Yeah, it's probably gas. You can attack my Oko to 1. We have one. We boarded out our. We boarded out our. What's our Veil? So we actually have 1 other green card in the deck, so we could Elk my Astrolabe if we wanted as well. Could potentially turn us off double white at some point if we get Wastelanded. Passing the turn. Spell Pierce is nice. I think we can just Elk my Astrolabe and say go. Don't think there's a reason for me to like go for plows or anything until their turn. So when they attack, I'm going to plow before I block. Oh no, they only attack the Meddling Mage. I think I just want to plow this thing. I want to keep my Elk around. Alright, cool. Wasteland. Wasteland my Caracas. 4-drop. Another Cataclysm? Oof. Let me just Spell Pierce this, I guess. They're probably going to Force Will my Spell Pierce? Yeah. So that resolves. We can just, like, play a Karn. This resolves. We keep Astrolabe, Snow-Covered Island. So this resolves. I can't do anything. I can float a white, actually. This resolves. Elk, not Labe. It's still an Elk, or it's still an Astrolabe. So I think I want to keep Snow-Covered Island. Actually, we could just keep Tundra. My opponent's sacking this Wasteland. We need to cast our Swords to Plowshares, potentially. We could just plow this Fathom Seer. But I don't think I want to. Definitely keep Monolith. Definitely keep Labe. It's a question of do I want to keep Tundra? I think I do. We have a Brainstorm. We could just keep Island. And up to Brainstorm into stuff. Maybe I do just want to keep Island. I don't think I'm supposed to plow this Fathom Seer. We have a second Tundra that we could draw into. Like, we have like a bunch of fetches for second Tundra. Yeah, Island allows us to cast the other 2 Astrolabes in our deck. We also like play a Ballista or a Karn if we need to, but there's more lands, which is nice. I think it's time to start attacking. Play Trop, say go. Could play Karn and wish for nothing relevant this turn. We're very far and almost impossible to actually cast Zirda at this point. We're down so many white sources. We could just play a Ballista for 2 if we wanted. I think I'm just going to say go, though. Wasteland my Trop. Play the 4th Lave in the sideboard for card. Which I mean upkeep. That's fine. Don't think I care about... It's a Force of Will. It's actually pretty nice. We only have 5 minutes left and we might need to go to a game 3 here, so I think I need to play fast. Am I brainstorming? I could just save the brainstorm for my Force of Will and just try to get there with this Astrolabe. Yeah. Could play just the Ballista for 2 at some point. I think that's better than the Karn, because the Karn doesn't do anything when we're constrained on mana. Stop playing lands, Arkin. Am I supposed to just Force a Will whatever this is? Adventurous Gargoyle. I'm definitely supposed to Force a Will that. That's scary as shit. It's a 5-4. Also, it's a Adventurous Gargoyle, which is hilarious. But I can't laugh at it right now because it's terrifying. Force back. That'd be bad. Oh, nice. It resolved. We did it. No greed brainstorm first? I'm not a psychopath. Oh, dang. I should have greed brainstormed first. Is it time to play a Ballista? I think it might be time to play a Ballista. My opponent might have days, which is deeply problematic. I have to win in 4 minutes in game 3 if we lose this game, which is very bad. Yeah, if we get dazed, though, my opponent can't get to, like, Lyris or whatever. Yet. Oh, maybe I was supposed to pair that with the... Oh, never mind. Wow, these cards all suck, but I want a blue card. I think I might actually just want a blue card to go with this Force and just go the distance like that. But then I'd have to draw all these unplayables. So maybe that's wrong. My opponent has 3 cards in hand. If they have land Lyris, I could easily lose this game unless I draw a land. I think I'm supposed to shuffle this. Ooh, it's not bad. Shuffle Coward. My opponent would stop playing land drops. That'd be nice. Yeah, now we're getting Lyris, which is really bad because then my opponent can recast this Vantress Gargoyle unless we rip a land. Yeah, land one-time dealer. We could brainstorm into the land. I think it's time. All right. You can hope for no days. I don't know how many days he's cast this game, but it's a lot. Fuck! If I attack, he goes to 2, but he just gains the life back. If only we had drawn a, like, hit an actual blue card to go with that. I think we'd lose this game. I think I'm supposed to concede. I think I'm dead now, but there's, like, no way I could win in 3 minutes either. Why does Lyris have lifelink? Because fuck you, that's why. Yeah. If that brainstorm had hit a blue card and a land, I think we actually win this game. Oh, we're at 4. Yeah, we're dead. Never mind. Yeah, missing no land drops after 2 Cataclysms is wild. I mean, that was definitely the game plan of his hand, from what we pieced together. So we have to win in 3 minutes, which is extremely hard to do. Pretty much impossible, especially for me. Maybe we want, like, some number of, like, forces. Take my time while I can here, take a breath to try to kill my opponent in 3 minutes. Killing my opponent in 3 minutes probably involves Okoing them. My opponent had a ton of Force of Wills. Maybe I do just want like Pierces or Fluster Storms to like force my spells through. Fluster counters forces and is good against Cataclysm. I don't think I want cards that can serve dual purpose. Force Negation isn't good at forcing my cards through. It's only good at stopping my opponent's stuff, which is like only Cataclysm that is like a problem card. Maybe I'm just worried about Karns. Karns is just not going to win the game. Yeah, the green mana in this deck is just like very clunky. I've been feeling that a lot in this league. I think this mana base needs a lot of work. Yeah, these Veils have felt very awkward. Lands and spells keep. Turn 1, Island Ponder. I have 2.5 minutes. I should be taking out all my like stops on various things. What am I looking for? Grim Monolith, Oko, and Teferi. Good enough. Top. No shuffle. I like Oko. I like Teferi. Technically can't cast them both with this hand. What was the third card I topped? I've already forgotten. I think I'm just gonna go land go. This was just shuffle. Oh, it was a land. It was a trop, right? There's no green white duel on this list. No savannas. I wonder if I was just supposed to pierce this bauble. Meddling Mage, sure. What do you name here? Plow? Yeah. We're going to... God, so this Flooded Train actually has to fetch a trop if I want to play through days here. We could just cast Teferi this turn to protect the Oko. That actually might be better. Just bounce this Meddling Mage. Assuming it resolves, which it might not. Yep, that's fine. What am I worried about? Second Meddling Mage? Where's this going? Oko? It would be bad for me. Could go on Zirda maybe if he's worried about me comboing. Yeah, it just goes on Zirda. So we can play Oko, make a food. And then Elk it and like play a big Ballista the following turn. We have Karn. Karn's interesting. Karn could potentially find us Basalt Monolith. Actually, yes, I want to take the damage here. Hold up Spell Pierce. If he has Cataclysm, we do just die, but that's our life. Damn it. Floating mana screen costing me precious seconds. Yeah, my opponent just goes like land Cataclysm, we just lose, and that's just the life we live. Luris, sure. Resolve Oko, win. There's a couple steps between that. But that's the plan, at least. Yeah, I love that I could just freely cast Oko into my opponent's, like, just 2-creature board state, and it's just totally fine. What am I doing? This turn I have a Force of Will, Elk my food, play a 2/2 Walking Ballista. We don't have enough time. I think I can win this game if I had like another minute on the clock. I wonder if I'm supposed to actually ping off that Lurrus immediately. It's a little bit more dangerous. I like the Ballista being able to block here. I think I might actually be pinging off the Meddling Mage too, so... I'm a little compelled to kill Lurrus. Yeah, I guess, yeah, because if we ping off the Meddling Mage, the Lurrus can recast it. And we can just Elk the Meddling Mage later. Yeah, we're blocking a Meddling Mage and killing the Lurrus. Vantress Garbo. Oh, was I supposed to let that resolve? Maybe not. Yeah, I think we're just gonna die. I'm busy!
Hello.
Busy.
Okay. Do you know when you're done?
Not soon.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to win in 30 seconds for sure. I was supposed to pump and ping off this Lurrus this turn. I think I do just win this game, though, assuming I have more time. The deck seems really weird. Yeah, we almost get there, but I'm slow and bad. Oh, alright. Well, we actually can't cast. We don't have enough white mana. We'll just end here. Yeah, we can win that game if we... What are we drawing? I'm pondering here, because I think I'm just trying to, assuming I have like an extra 1 minute on my clock or something, I cast Ponder here to try to find a white source. Moto. One of those times Moto just doesn't let you know your cards. But yeah, we get to like ponder into white source here to just kill with force backup. And we just like are crushing because we have an Oko in play. Yeah, it is kitty stream time. Dog has made her appearance. Yeah, MTGO is very, very moody, but like you see your top card, it's like extremely random about it. This deck has felt extremely powerful if the mana base gets some ironing out, though. This deck has felt like just very busted. We're doing dumb things, and like we were winning because we had an Oko in play, and my opponent has to exhaust so many resources on Oko that we just get to just like combo kill them. It's just like you just play Oko in your combo decks because Oko is a 1-card combo that your opponent has to just spend a bunch of resources to stop. Yeah, the one takeaway is that I really do think this mana needs some work. How often have we cast Zirda? We've killed every game with Zirda, I believe. I think all of our wins have been infinite comboing. We've not. We've used Oko as like force bait to just infinite combo them, mostly. Or just like Oko started to take over games and we also had the ability to combo kill them. Alright, this is technically lands and spells, but we finally mulligan a lands and spells hand. Because it's not the good land. Fortunately, Ancient Tomb does not cast Arkham's Astrolabe. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. This hand's fine, especially on 6. We're going to bottom a Plow. My opponent actually revealed Luris, so maybe it's actually correct to bottom the Force. Although, my opponent could be like on Luris Storm, but I think when I see Luris, I'm supposed to assume creature deck. So maybe I actually am supposed to bottom this Force. This Ponder's going away and it's going to try to hit me a land drop, so this Force actually gets pretty stranded. Yeah, let's bottom the Force a will and hope my opponent's not on Storm. Instead of my stops that I'm comfortable with. Even though upkeep and draw step stop are far less important for this deck, it's just what I'm used to. Am I supposed to just fetch into a Stifle here? I'm just going Trop Go. God, I hate playing. I hate having to think about Stifle now. Fuck. I put it on Trop Luris means Bug Delver. Bug Delver means like the Stifle build, which means I'm supposed to just say go. I think. It's not a huge downside not casting Ponder here either. If we do get it casted on turn 2 or something. Oh, the other cat's here too. She's on my lap though. She doesn't like jumping on my shoulders. My opponent just passing. That is very scary. Land, please. Not a land. Am I? Now the question is, my opponent is stuck on lands. I'm stuck on lands. Am I supposed to just miss my land drop and say go to not get stifled? I think the answer is still yes. Because if I fetch, my opponent not only doesn't have to move to discard, but like we're down our land, which is extremely important for us. I think we can just do nothing here. And my opponent goes to 8 cards first. So they have to decide on if they oh no, they drew a land here. That's not good. And they're just continuing to say go, which is also bad. Would really love to draw a land. It's not a land. Now it does cost us something because we have 8 cards in hand. Now do I have to lose this spell? Do I have to lose to Stifle, or do I have to just... There's like a 100% chance that my opponent has a Stifle in their hand, right? They kept 7, went Trop Go into miss my land drop go, into Wasteland also go. So they're a Delver deck that has not cast a single spell on 7. So there's a 100% chance there's a Stifle in my opponent's hand. So I think I'd rather miss a land drop and discard one of these cards. The question is, which card do I discard? But if you do nothing, they might just waste my fetch anyway. Yeah, then they're another Wasteland at least. Ugh. Fetch in their upkeep, so they burn there. What's up, MTGO Brazil? How's it going? Yeah, then they're not wasting my next land if we find one. I think I'm supposed to just move to discard, which really fucking sucks, but... It's like really hilarious when my opponent doesn't have Stifle too. What am I discarding? This Oko, because it's a 1,000,000 mana? Or this Spell Pierce? I think the Spell Pierce might be moderately relevant. I think this Oko is just impossible to cast. I could discard a Plow if they're on the Mongoose version. Oh god, the cats are wreaking havoc now. Cats don't have time. I literally don't have time for this. I can't cast cantrips and deal with you. I already timed out once. I always time out with cantrip decks, it's fine. Hey. Psst, psst. I just have to pull away that other chair from the window because they was bad at the little curtain rods. Oh boy. I was supposed to fetch a response. I'm dumb. I was supposed to fetch a response to this Ponder. Like, not an idiot, so they don't have Stifle mana up. Whoopsie. Oh well. We'll just draw land, it'll be fine. Hey, we did it. Cool. Now I can continue to not cast spells. Let me just say go here. Actually, we could fetch. They stifle, we fetch pierce, they daze the pierce. Yeah, no, it's problematic. I think I'm just happy saying go. Sure. Thoughtseize. Yeah. Can't really do anything about it anyway. It's not like we can pierce it with 2 mana up, even if they don't have like a bunch of stifles and shit in hand. It'd be a lot better if I just fucking fetched into the ponder like a smart Magic player. They take the plow and they can like play their Tarmogoyf or something. Take the monolith. Okay, they're trying to not be comboed. It's nice that we still have this Oko at least. Backup WinCon. Are they just gonna continue to not cast any threats? Urza's Bauble. Are they too poor for Mishras? It's honestly like a reasonable consideration. Mishras is way better with Delver of Secrets, but like it's also just $1 million on Moto. A Force of Will. I only have 7 cards. So I think I can just say go again. Just cast 0 spells this whole time. Because we got Thoughtseize. If we didn't get Thoughtseize, I think I would try to do something. People use a mix of Urzas and Mishras. I think Mishras is just like very much better again when you're a Delver deck. There's like no reason to play around Pithing Needles and Meddling Mages when you're Delver. They're never going to be naming Bauble. They might be naming Bauble with Meddling Mage if you have a Lurrus in play and they have nothing else. But like, Mishra's Bauble has just actually just way more synergy with Delver of Secrets. Yes, people are playing Urza's Bauble because it is significantly less ticks. Well, that mana doesn't cast a Lurrus. The cat mana does cast a Nimble Mongoose. Another Oko, alright. We might need to finally get got here. Wow, just resolved. I wonder if they just never had Stifle and they just discarded a Plow for no reason. I actually fetched this Flooded Strength because I wanted to get basic planes. But now, do I have to get basic island? And then another basic island? I guess this Plow is not super relevant right now. Probably draw into more mana. Brainstorm Karn does not seem like what I want. Ancient Tomb is not the end of the world, but it's also not colored mana. I think I'm going to play it so I can cast this other Ponder. Because I was... Oh yeah, I don't want to get my Ponder. Although, they daze the Ponder. If I draw like a land here, I could hold a Spellbreak. Spellbreak's looking pretty bad though at this point. Hey, lands! Nice. I'll draw both of these. earth is their hand that they just didn't interact with any of that? Because the Ancient Doom's nice, yeah, as wasteland bait. So we have a Tundra on the top of our deck. So if they Luris, Bobble Me here or whatever, we have the ability to fetch, or we have the ability to play Tundra and plow Luris with Force backup. Sure. I should be paying attention to what the cards they've seen from my baubles. They saw Ponder and then they saw Force of Will, so those are the cards they know about. I can see it here, right? Yeah. More geese. That's less scary. We have a main deck Supreme Verdict, but only one. And the geese are loose. Oko not good against double mongoose. Subdugs. Subdugs. You stole my line. I don't want to get my Tundra wastelanded, but I also want to be able to plow a Luris that might be coming down next turn. Don't think we want to cast an Oko into Daze. I think we're just gonna Misty Rainforest. These Okos are gonna be hard to capitalize on in the face of double goose as well. Beard's coming along very strong. Working on it. Quarantine does wonders for facial hair. We're hitting 6 here? Jesus. It's just so much damage. More hair on your face than on my cat. Yeah, not super hard, that one, but... It's my opponent with their 7-card hand. I suppose just Oko, make a food, and have it die. I mean, it potentially gains me 6 life, and the second Oko can, like, make a dude off of it. So they force this, we have Pierce. Oh, no, we don't. We don't have Pierce, they have 3 mana. If they force this, we have Force Pitch Pierce. And we're still not dead, we're at 7 versus 6. If they have Pierce, that's awkward. I think I just have to Force of Will this Spell Pierce, which sucks a lot. I think I want to keep the second Oko more than I want this Pierce. Pierce still not live against free spells, so... I assume we're just, like, dead. My opponent has 6 cards in hand. Oko, yep. They put me to 1 here. I don't have a lot that can beat that. Don't even have the mana to draw Grim Monolith to kill. Because this fucking mana base is very hard to work with. I feel like this deck definitely just wants all 4 Astrolabes. Astrolabe, it seems like I'm never sad to have an Astrolabe in my hand. Yeah, Mongoose is slow. Mongoose significantly less. So we could Oko, elk our food, block a goose, plow the food. We could also like Oko plus Ballista on 1 to like chump. That'd be better, assuming my opponent's 6-card hand is literally nothing. I don't think we can beat actual anything, so maybe that's actually the play. Like plowing my food is not. Is not a game-winning line. this doesn't resolve, we do just like die in a horrible fire. It does beat Daze. We're already dead to Abrupt Decay. I think I'm gonna play a Ballista for 1 here. It's the better out, assuming my opponent has 0 castable magic cards in there. Okay, they have Abrupt Decay, we die. Just a weird game. Yeah, the mana base makes piloting against Stifle Delver a nightmare. I can't even imagine that like just piloting against normal Delver is helpful. Just because like trying to like work around Wasteland and cast all your spells just seems very hard if you're not just playing like 4 Astrolabes and a boatload of basics. What did we do last time? We boarded in Supreme Verdict, Council's Judgment, and then we did stuff with like Flusterstorm. I ended up cutting a Karn and boarding the Flusterstorm, I think, because I wanted all my Pierces versus there were like libraries and Winter Orbs and stuff. Where did I cut last time? Did I cut Veils? Yeah, I ended up cutting. Did I cut Veils? What did I do? No, I didn't. I had Veils in my deck. Yeah, I had Veils in my deck. It was like this. And we cut the Teferis. And then I ended up shaving 1 Karn when I wanted to bring in the Flusterstorm here. Boarding out 1 Karn. Karn I have found to be extremely clunky in this deck. Which makes sense. It's a card that's hard to use without a bunch of mana. It's mostly like a mana sink, or if you're like flooding, sometimes you can just randomly get there. It's mostly just because it's like one of your more efficient mana sinks. Because it's all colorless. Alright, this hand seems pretty nice. We have turn 3 Supreme Verdict. Get him. If I keep this hand. Like I said, like I think this deck wants Astrolabes in its opening hands really badly. So I don't know why we're not playing a basic forest and not playing 4 Astrolabes, because it has felt like navigating the mana base with this deck has been a nightmare. And that is, I'm sure, and no small part of that is because I'm very bad at trying to figure out my mana, because I'm not used to like these like fetch lands and cantrips and stuff. I think I'm just gonna Ancient Tomb Ballista this Delver. Like just play around Daze. Yeah, the 2 might just be greedy, I'm not sure. I can cast the Supreme Verdict next turn. I don't think I will, but you never know. Wait, an oofed? Null Rod, just actual factual Null Rod. I'm sure. Now we can't Supreme Verdict, but also we don't really care about Supreme Verdicting. Don't think I want to force this. Definitely want to draw some action here. I think I'm going to play around Stifle and just fetch out a Snow-Covered Plains here. That's the reason we decided to play this deck in the first place. Yeah, because like Nora doesn't just like completely shut you down. People kind of have to board it in, but then you can just like go switch to like these Oko Plains and stuff. So ballistaing the Delver is fine, because if they get a 4 mana and like try to lure us back the Delver or something, we can line up the Supreme Verdict against that. This game definitely wants to find something to do, because we don't have anything to do. Well, Ponder can find stuff. That is stuff. Oko is very good. I like Brainstorm because it helps me force through the Oko. And we probably shuffle away the Heath. So let's keep the Oko on top, draw the Brainstorm. Play land, say go. I wonder if the reason you don't want 4 Astrolabes is because everyone brings in Null Rods against you anyway? Is that, like... Does that logic track? Your Astrolabes are just generally weaker. Brainstorm, sure. Problem is the Oko isn't as good against Bug, because Bug has Abrupt Decays, and Abrupt Decays suck ass. Because they just, like, they clean trade with your Okos. I guess we could just Elk our Astrolabe so we get a 3/3 out of the deal. It's not the worst thing. Goose. Sure. You have to be worried about getting Thoughtseize before we're trying to line up the Supreme Verdict, but I don't think I'm just supposed to Verdict a Goose. I guess we can just Oko this turn, and just Elk our Astrolabe. We could Elk their Null Rod too, but that seems bad right now. I think I just want to make an Astrolabe, or make an Elk, to try to fight off this Goose. We can pay for Pierce. They force, we force back. We have Verdict if they tried to, like, outboard state the Oko. Yep. Oko their Rod and Verdict next turn. No, I don't want to Oko the Rod because then we lose the Oko. We could potentially plus the Oko on the Rod and Verdict in the same turn. Oh, next turn do Oko the Rod and then Verdict, potentially, yeah. If that's all in the same turn, then yeah. I'm with that plan. Especially because I would not be surprised to see, like, Luris Delver here. Hopefully they don't Thoughtseize me. Hopefully this is Luris Delver. Him to draw. That's rough. Ugh. Can't plow anything here. Now we lose our... I'm fine losing the Astrolabe, because the Astrolabe contests the Nimble Mongoose. Yeah, that's a beaten and a half. Yeah, certainly. Now we just need to ride this Oko, so we hope they don't have follow-up Abrupt Decay. Uh-oh. I sense a follow-up Abrupt Decay in my future. And then, like, we're gonna get run over Luris Delver. Yeah. Deeply problematic here. They can just offer this trade if they want to, too, because they just have Luris. Alright. I think we need to brainstorm into some action. I have a Gift of Foresight. Is it a gift or is it a curse? Do I want to brainstorm right now? I could wait. Opponent's 1 card in hand. My opponent's almost certainly going to cast Luris Delver of Secrets next turn. We need to find a lot of stuff to try to beat that. We have plenty of mana, not cards. I think I just need to wait. Your opponent's just predictable points. I mean, it's easy to see, like, the play patterns when it's... like... why... like... I don't know how to explain it, but... it's easy to see the play patterns your opponent's setting up, sometimes, when you play a ton of Magic. My opponent, yeah, offers the trade here because they know they have just Luris and a Goose, so we don't want to block. We would rather answer Luris first. The problem is that they can just Luris Delver. And we only have 1 Supreme Verdict left in the deck. And there's a Null Rod, which means we're pretty far away from comboing them. Could cast our Zirda at some point. This is fine. I mean, not fine, but... Grimmonolith, not great. Plow Veil. Those are pretty good cards. We can plow the Luris, plow the Delver, and trade on board with the Mongoose. So we put away the Grimmonolith, put away the Veil, fetch, Tundra, plow. As much as I want this Veil of Summer. I think we definitely want multiple plows when we're at 11 here. So now they need to have an answer for my Astrolabe or have like a Tarmogoyf. Both of which are not that hard to find for them. But now we're live to try to find like more Okos and stuff. They're offering the trade here. They literally can't have Luris, so yeah, now we can trade that Luris, bring the Goose back, which is exactly what we want to do here. They just have another threat. They pondered and didn't shuffle, so I assume they have another threat to develop here. That's why they offered the trade as well. Yeah, just another Goose, sure. 2 more geese, Jesus, alright. Verdict? For Monolith, that's not very helpful. I think it's time to cast Zirda as a chump blocker. Veil Summer. Well, don't want to cast the Monolith here because we're not beating the Null Rod and we might need it to, we can brainstorm it at some point. I will very happily cycle this Veil into a cantrip at this point. We're digging for, although there's a, it's World War we want the Grimmonolith to play for Oko, actually. Thoughtseize. Well, we can fail that. We're at 4. Wow, if we had this Monolith in play, we could animate it to block. So, Karn plus on nothing. What's up, Lynn? How's it going? Could also, yeah, no. Karn plus on nothing. Yeah, it's ensnaring bridge time. So Karn pluses to 6, which means it's not threatened by the board. And then we minus it for bridge, but we can't get... Oh, no, we can get enough cards out of our hand unless we draw another uncastable. You could wish for Crypt this turn. No, Crypt doesn't do anything because there's a Null Rod in play. We play Karn and Monolith, but then we go to 2 and die. I think I just need a Karn plus. We could Karn Monolith and plus on the Monolith as a blocker. That loses to a removal spell. The only removal spell they're going to have in their deck is Abrupt Decay, and we already can't beat Abrupt Decay because we're going to get Bridge. Okay, I could buy that. I could buy Monolith being correct. Because we already can't beat an Abrupt Decay, and they probably don't have anything else that isn't Abrupt Decay as removal spells. Yeah, I can get behind this. I guess if they like Daze now, we do just die, though. They have 1 card in hand, though. I guess we lost to like Daze and Stifle there. We lose to Stifle. We can't beat Stifle anyway, though, because we're going to minus to get Ensnaring Bridge. Please shuffle that Ponder. shuffle. Oh, we might just be dead. Abrupt Decay, yep. Well, we're gonna beat the Abrupt Decay anyway. Attack the Karn. Dang. We're gonna draw some real clunkers. We draw a Ballista that we can cast. Lands, yeah. Could have sat behind a bridge for a little bit there, yeah. This deck's mana has been certainly a nightmare. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I liked the Monolith line because we couldn't beat Abrupt Decay anyway. So it's not like, oh, we got our Monolith killed, so like the line's bad or something. Because like if we get attacked to 1 and then we wish for a ensnaring bridge, hey, get out of here! Quit shooting on little scraps of paper, you punk. That line loses to cards that probably aren't in my opponent's deck at that point, like Fatal Pushes and stuff. Yeah. We cash in the Monolith for potentially a life and get a card out of our hand for the Ensnaring Bridge, which is important because we already have a Forcible clogging things up. So if we had drawn another uncastable, we would have just died to the Goose. So yeah, I definitely like the line. The line made sense. Cantrips and lands, but again, not these lands. Alright, that seems pretty good. Bottoming this. Opponent did not reveal a companion. What does that mean? Combo deck? Bottom of Teferi? Bottom a land. I could bottom a land. I think that's what I'm supposed to do with these types of decks, because we just have a bunch of draws and like cantrips and shit. Most non-companion decks are combo decks in the format at this point, because companions are just so gas in fair matchups, because they just give you a bunch of card advantage that in order to convince yourself that you don't have to play a companion, you need to be not caring that your opponent is up a card on you at every point. Or they're just playing miracles. Didn't get the memo that 2019 and 2020 happened, and they're casting Portent. Yes, not 80 card miracles and not Luris miracles, just good old 2018 miracles. Second Monolith, not what we want, but we have brainstorms for that. Deck playing Kinian? No. We don't have any Basalt, so we only have like one Basalt on the sideboard. This deck is all in on playing like a bad Snoko deck that randomly kills. See, we can just brainstorm here. More monoliths, right? I can just shuffle all these monoliths, I guess. So we can aggressively fetch non-basics. There's a chance my opponent's like a back to basics on their deck. But we also have to cast Teferi and Oko here, so I think I can just fetch a Tundra. Alright, we can just shuffle away 2 monoliths. It's nice. Try to list with Kinnan before playing Luris, and that list felt too slow playing Snoko and still not having enough removal against it. Yeah, Kinnan, or however you pronounce it, that card does not seem quite legacy playable to me. Yeah, I'm gonna shuffle all these fucking monoliths. And we can cast a Teferi or an Oko next turn. Probably Teferi. 100 Brainstorm and refuse to get preordained as well. God, cantrips suck. Yeah, the fact that Kinnan only combos with Basalt is really clunky, because Basalt's just, like, so much worse. 3 mana is so much more than 2. I'm definitely going to forget to fetch. I'm trying so hard to not forget to fetch here. What am I putting in play? Counterbalance? That card seems horrifying. I think I'm supposed to just force pitch to Fairy on this. Hey, Arkin, thanks for the host. Appreciate it. Enjoyed the games. Sorry I play very slowly. Cantrips are hard for my tiny D&T brain, but, hello. I feel like I'm not supposed to let this resolve. I think the Oko's better than the Teferi. Maybe not. Because we have Monolith Karn in hand, so we're going to have to try to line up white anyway. Yeah. I think I could have won that game 3, but I'm bad and play super slowly. Alright, Flusterstorm, sure. I think now we just jam Oko and hope they don't have like a 3. Threes are pretty unlikely. Alright, gonna remember to fetch like not an idiot. Brainstorm, a little hard to cast right now. I hope this Oko resolves. Pluto Delta, nice. No Force Will. Yeah, Force Responder. So they just had like Force Fluster backup on this. This is not looking great. Yeah, Counterbalance in Luris Miracles, ironically horrible against decks that are trying to cast 3 and 4 drops because you can't really play a lot of those. Alright, so now we want to try to just setting up a kill through a Counterbalance is just definitely going to be difficult though. We need like our Grimmonolith to resolve, then our Zirda to resolve, and not get killed, and then our Karn to resolve. But as wasted, it's put a lot of resources in getting this Counterbalance on the table. I think we're just going to Brainstorm this turn, unless we just draw white mana. It is just white mana. Fortunately, my opponent has 2 cards in hand. We can't beat Swords to Plowshares as it sits. Follow your heart and not these unfair decks out of hell. I was interested in this list because I've been enjoying Zirda a lot, so I definitely wanted to try this out. I think we're just going to cast Grim Monolith here. Real Swords to Plowshares, nice. I'm not casting this Brainstorm. We could just go for it right now, assuming this resolves. My opponent has a Swords to Plowshares on top of their deck. We could just try to kill them. We know it doesn't really get better for us, because we know our opponent's... Oh, my opponent's just counterspelling this. Alright, never mind. Everything's bad again. Getting ugly counterspell to double tilt. Am I supposed to fire off this Brainstorm like in their draw step? No, I think I want more cards in my hand. This Karn actually can be relevant. Karn's hard to counterbalance, and we could potentially just try to... we could like backdoor... like Karn Basalt Monolith Zirda stuff. Or just like find some more land drops and lattice them before they have relevant spells. Does my opponent really want to draw the Swords to Plowshares? Seems like a card you don't want. What's this? Narset. Well, this Brainstorm's certainly not getting better. they exhaust like Brainstorm Sword, and I put the thing back to counter this, so that's fine. We set up our Karn. Oh, they're Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, I probably should have seen that coming. Put the Flusterstorm on top. Come on. You know you want to. Hey, quit that. Hunk. Ugh. Yeah, we should definitely stream together. I missed our first stream together because I had back problems. They're getting back the Portent? Sure. Great. It's 8 out of 10. Alright. So, they counter my Brainstorm. Yeah, Mystic Sanctuary counterbalance is very gross. We're going to slam a Karn. And I guess wish for Monolith. Harder for them to interact with a bunch of 3s. We know their last card in hand currently is Swords to Plowshares, though, so we do have to be wary of that. We need enough mana. But we should have enough mana if we have Basalt Monolith to go off, but that'll take several turns unless we draw 5th land. They just grab the Portent, sure. So we know their last card is Swords to Plowshares currently. I hope they don't Portent a 4 to the top. I think right now is the best time to jam. It's not very helpful. Problem is that I'm going to show them that I have a... Oh, there's a back to basics. Oh, jeez, there's a back to basics. Jesus. Now what the fuck do we do? Certainly can't Assault Monolith. They're gonna like back to basics themselves a little bit here. Do we like Relic? So we can like cycle? Assault Monolith's off the table. Crypt is bad. Ballista's maybe okay at some point. I think we might just want to get Relic. Relic might be... It's harder to cast into the counterbalance, but they can't set it up next turn. They likely can't set it up. Yeah, I think it's Relic of Progenitus. Everything is horrible, yeah. We had so many plans, and my opponent has like just dashed my plans at every turn. We could animate our Relic of Progenitus to attack this Narset and clear it over the next couple of turns. If my Relic resolves, which is hard to do into a counterbalance, for sure. They don't know their top card anymore. They knew what that was, but now they're Narsetting past it. We can't cast the Relic into any fetch land, because they can obviously just Mystic Sanctuary more once to the top. They find a Ponder, which also means they know that we have Relic, which means if they... Oh, they don't cast the Ponder, though, so they don't know their top card right now. So now's the best time to try to force through my Relic of Progenitus. Definitely don't want to cast a Ponder right now. Teferi Time Raveler. It's kind of annoying. Takes down their Tundra. We could get Crypt in play so we can start trying to beat another Mystic Sanctuary, potentially. We could wish for Tormod's Crypt. Shoal's Cube, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. I think I might actually want to wish for Crypt. It's kind of awkward with this Relic, obviously, but... Turn Relic into creature kill notch. And the Relic would have Summoning Sickness. We can't do that right now. The plan... Tentatively the plan for next turn, but I assume they're going to Teferi my Relic. So I want to set up this Tormod's Crypt so they can't just have a fetch land to counter my relic on the when it comes back here. Sure. Oh, we also do have to worry about they could just plow my relic, because we know they have this plow in hand, and they'll probably leave up this white mana, this Tundra. So it's not the greatest plan in the world. Osaito-san, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. It's going to be hard to get out of unless we draw a lot of basics. And you start drawing a lot of fetch lands. Find our planes so we can play the monolith all under a counterbalance. So they know their top 2 cards currently. Now they're portenting. Sure. Do I want to use the relic? I don't think I want to trade this relic for a plow. I mean, I'd trade it for the plow and the Tundra, notably. But don't know how relevant that is. Oh, I was supposed to exile a card from their graveyard, whatever. Don't think it really matters. They have a lot of fetch lands in there. There's a Grim Monolith. It doesn't really matter because we still need 3 lands to do anything, because we need to find both of our... Because we could find Astrolabe, potentially. I think I'm just going to plus on nothing and say go. Could potentially just cycle the relic on my opponent's turn to draw a card. If we get the Grim Monolith in play, we could get to a point where we can just get the Lattice down. Because we have a bunch of mana. I think I do just want to cycle this right now to draw a card. Like, I don't think... The plus and take down the Narset plan just doesn't work, because they have this plow in hand. I think I'd rather just draw a card. Ooh, Astrolabe. That's potentially good. They know their top card right now, right? They portented last turn. It does force them to tap Tundra, which is like a non-zero thing. More monoliths. They portented last turn. They drew a card on my upkeep. They drew a card for turn, and then they said go. So they know their top card currently. Do I need to contend with a 1-drop on top? I could just pass the turn here and force them to need to find a new way to reset to set up their counterbalance and try not Astrolabe here. Can we just crack in response? We wouldn't draw the card if we cracked in response because they have a Narset. I'd rather draw the card than force the plow, I think. Don't think I want to cast an Astrolabe into a known portent, but maybe that's wrong. Obviously, Astrolabe not drawing a card sucks, but Astrolabe fixing my mana to potentially let me cast Zirda can be nice. Snapcaster. Oh, that's very bad. Did I plus my card on this turn? Did I, like, walk into that? I did not plus my card on this turn. Whoops. I think it's just time to pack it in. This card would be at 3, so it'd go down to 1. It still wouldn't really do anything. But I think we are just under the fist of back to basics counterbalance at this stage. But I definitely could have bought this card another turn to live. If that was not bad. we can't beat a counterbalance, but if we draw a land and they miss on counterbalance, we might be able to kill over a couple turns. Oh, there's a dog in here now. Another astrolabe. That doesn't do anything. I'd rather plow a Snapcaster Mage.
She already ate dinner and went outside.
Okay.
I brought her choice.
Yeah, Labe not the greatest with the Narset play, that's for sure. Valk on top, sure. Like I said, we're not dead. If they just have like a Jace or something here, we can pack it in. But if they're just like attacking with Snapcaster Mages, we can still draw lands if they just miss on natural counterbalances. Although actually we need a payoff too now because we lost our card. Wow, blind counterbalance daggers. Jam the other monolith next turn. Playing the Teferi now. Bounce my Astrolabe. There's plusing, sure. I guess now they can bounce my Grim Monolith. Now that I have 2 men in play, they're more concerned about me actually having like permanents in play. So the Teferi constantly ticking up means that it can unsummon things faster. Does mean that shields are down on their plow currently, but they revealed Flintstream, so we're actually still boned. So now they have basic planes access finally. Oh, I can't cast it because it's Fairy Duh. I was like, wait, why can't I cast the Sword Splashers? Duh. Snapcaster Beast, like, yeah, my opponent is just playing 2018 Miracles with some Planeswalkers. Oh, they have Force Will. Alright, yeah, we're dead. We were like weirdly in that game for a little bit there. Like we had I mean we needed to find like a mana sink or something. Mana was being real finicky about letting me draw cards. Stop feeding the spells to counterbalance. They missed a lot on that counterbalance. They didn't have like a Jace or something to really to really drive it home. I definitely want this Fluster. Do I want these? Probably want Disenchant. What don't I want? My Plows and Supreme Verdict. I'm worried about just the existence of Monastery Mentor. That's a card that could potentially be scary, but we'll have Oko's Council's Judgment, just Force of Wills and stuff. So I think that's probably enough. Definitely cut this Verdict. I think we can just do this. Force of Negation is good at fighting my opponent's stuff, bad at fighting for my stuff, but don't know how much that matters. Maybe this is good enough. I think we are the aggressor here, for sure. We have a lot more impactful spells like Oko or like Karn. So I think we're using our Force of Wills defensively more than offensively. We are the show and tell deck. I would love to play first. I would not love to keep this hand, though. I'll keep this. Bottoming a land. Bottom this Windswept Heath. I think I want double Karns. Like I said, being a force check deck. I think we'll hit land drops well and good. We'll fetch out a basic here. We'll have Astrolabe in play, so it's pretty fine. For Monolith, that's nice. I want to fetch out Tundra with my Misty so I can set up a kill. I do just want to cast this Grim Monolith here. If we draw a Force of Will, we can just kill them. We can kill them without a Force of Will if we like want to try to. But with them having a bunch of mana up, obviously we can just cast cantrips and whatever, live our life. Fairy. Some land drops here. These are not land drops. Could have sworn I bottomed that. Don't want a third Karn, but we're gonna have to deal because we're gonna draw it. I'm happy to hit another land drop though. So now we can try to set up to Fairy. Lily, back up. We can like Teferi to force check. Counterbalance, yep. Certainly problematic. They know their top card currently. So what are they prepared for? A 3-drop? Could cast Karn here. They're probably not prepared for a 4. Kind of dig casting Karn into the Brainstorm turn here. Don't think I like Teferiing. I think they could sniff out Oko or Teferi more than Karn. It's easier for them to hit too. And I'm also less sad if this Karn gets countered because we have so many payoffs for infinite mana. Okay, they're fetching because it's not a 4. Real Brainstorm. Nice. We could wish for just Mycosynth Lattice, and we could just cast a Lattice for 6 mana next turn. Tap our Monolith, but like it is just another force check, right? We'd wish for Basalt Monolith if we wanted to. We do that later though. I think I just do want to wish for Lattice. What are you gonna do? Counterbalance my Mycosynth Lattice? We could actually wish for like a Tormod script or something here to be able to try to counterbalance through. No, we don't care about any ones. So they fetch, they can only put Brainstorm on top. Now let's grab Lattice. Just fucking force check them to death. If we keep the Karn in play, it means that we can like just force check with like Teferi and stuff, or maybe even Zirda. Yeah, Lattice seems pretty fine here. If we draw another land, I think we can Teferi and Zirda in the same turn. We get back to basics here. Teferi? Sure. Bounce my Monolith. Yep. So I can't Lattice without a land drop. We can tack down the Teferi with our Astrolabe. I wonder if they still have plows in their deck. We'll cast our Teferi and find out, I guess. More Karn. Oh yeah, we knew that Karn was coming. Oh, they have a Brainstorm in hand. Well, if they Brainstorm, it means we get to clear their Teferi at least. Which isn't the end of the world. What 3 are they going to show me? Back to basics. God damn it. This we can actually, like, handle a back to basics. Yeah, I was thinking something similar. LED in this wishboard just works so well with Karn that maybe it's just worth it anyway. So yeah, if they cast back to basics here, we can still cast Monolith off our islands and then still have 6 mana to Lattice. Yeah, that's one of the things I was saying about how clunky the Karn felt. I'm gonna reveal a Terminus. Just fucking demolish me. Okay, more lands is nice. This is actually only a 1-time land, though. Because there are no more basic islands in this deck. And this mana base has felt like a mess. Certainly casting Grim here. Portent, nice. They're gonna force my Monolith? Yes. Now we can wish for Basalt. I'm not worried about this dying Snapcaster Mage. Because our hand is nothing but Karns. Grab a Basalt Monolith. Say go. We know they have this Portent. So if they Portent, we have to be worried that they know that I have a Basalt Monolith. Maybe I wasn't supposed to wish for Basalt Monolith this turn, because that just lets them know what to put on top. And I don't have to cast it next turn. I can just say go. Whoa, they just left a plow on top? Also, they still have plow in their deck? No, there are 2 basic planes, but Misty Force doesn't get those. What a wild portent. I guess they don't have an answer to my Basalt Monolith then, but that was a pretty sick blowout there. Yeah, this deck's mana base has felt like the worst thing about it by far. I think the power level is here, but I definitely have felt like it needs some fine tuning. Maybe the mana base is fine for people to know how to cantrip. I don't know. We've had this mana base. I think the mana base has genuine just problems versus stuff like Delver. Like a no basic forest Astrolabe deck that like has very impactful green cards to cast in Wasteland Force of Will matchups. So they took their Brainstorm here, which does not bode well. Yeah, this deck could definitely use like at least like a liquid metal coating too. The Karn could definitely use some work. Don't have any blue cards. This deck's power level has definitely felt there in terms of like a Zirda strategy that evolves to beat Null Rod. I don't think I'm supposed to be attacking with my Astrolabe because I need double white to cast Zirda. I think if they plow my Ballista, I just let it get exiled, so I have more Ballistas to wish for. So they're getting back Portent. They have Portent Brainstorm. And Plow. Yeah, the fact that this card does not have any inevitability until you have like a million mana. Yeah, this deck could definitely use a coating in the sideboard. I definitely see a more relevant Karn package than it is in normal Zirda lists, because you're just a more fair deck. Deck also has issues for Scataclysm. I'm not sure about that one. So they're very keen on not letting my Basalt Monolith resolve, it seems. I'm gonna wish for another Ballista next turn. Just say go here. I think I want this Brainstorm more as like a card to pitch to Force of Will and a card to toss into a counterbalance. Sure, they fire off the Portent. They still have the Brainstorm in hand. I guess maybe I'm not supposed to wish for a Ballista because we just have too many cards in our hand. Maybe I just wanted to crypt at some point. They already have 2 Sanctuaries in their deck. How many could they possibly have? They could maybe have a third in just straight blue-white here. They did have a small red splash. It was probably just like a Vulcan Pyroblasts. Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer, unfortunately, because we don't have a basic forest, can't be used to just like try to smash through a counterbalance without like just stone raining ourselves. which is nightmarishly bad for us. Veil Basalt. Then we tap down like all of our mana, and all we have is a Basalt and 2 islands, which doesn't get to our Lattice, and doesn't get to Zirda Infinite because we don't have double white. I think we need to wait on Veil Basalt until we have like different mana to work with. I think I'm just gonna cast another Walking Ballista. Plow this Ballista. Like, maybe it's time to actually ping their face. Yeah. We're doing the 1-1 beats plan. Counterbalance reveals. They choose not to use it. Yeah, I am also very bored. I hate matches like this. This is why I can't play Control, because the Control v Control is just fucking miserable for me to play. I was supposed to wish for Crypt there, I think. This card's at way too much loyalty. They still haven't burned the Brainstorm. Yeah, that's bad. We can force and veil this, hopefully. They're leaving up a mana, that's spooky. Do I want to veil first? They're leaving up a mana to Brainstorm here, right? So they can Brainstorm to counterbalance my stuff. So if I cast Force of Will, they might put their Force of Will on top, and then we can Veil in response to the counterbalance trigger. So I think I'm supposed to actually just force this. So then if they fire off the Brainstorm here... Oh, they fire off Flusterstorm. Okay. So now we can just try to veil this and hope they don't have a 1 on top. Oh, and they have Force for the veil. Pitching Dovin's Veto. Okay. Went pretty far on down on resources to do this. But we need to find several more mana producing lands. Which for Ratchet Bomb, yeah, if this... They reveal Narset for no reason, cool. So we know they have a Narset on top of their deck right now, so we can't cast Basalt Monolith right now. And they still have the Brainstorm, so that we know we can't cast any 3s ever, which includes Ensnaring Bridge. Nice Flusterstorm. A little bit late to the party there, bud. Alright, yeah, I've had enough of this match. There's maybe a world that I can try to figure out some wild way to win this, but I don't think there is. And I'm also very exhausted, and I hate playing Control Mirrors. Get Bridge, play Bridge, Basalt and Bridge. No, they literally have a Narset on top of their deck. We cannot resolve our Basalt Monolith. Yeah, the issue is that this card isn't threatening against Control unless we have a bunch of mana, and we're like really bad against Back to Basics because our mana is really bad. So there definitely... I think there definitely should be like a coding in this sideboard to actually threaten Control Mirrors at a pretty resource-light cost. Yeah, so we did horribly in this league, but I'm fine with that. It's definitely like an experimental list. Ping everyone to send a message. I should have pinged one of the Angels. Yeah, I mean, we're just done. We're just done with the league. We're definitely dead. So I think just a ton of the issues from this deck stemmed from the mana base. I think like all of our losses were like because we had to like our fetches were awkward. We have like really awkward amount of basics that don't line up well with the fetch lands and like the mana cop. I don't know. I think step one is I really hate this mana base, and I think this mana base needs a lot of work to cast your spells. Like we have no basic forest in this deck. Which like Oko and Veil of Summer are both like very powerful cards that we want for Delver decks. We have like 2 green sources plus some like Astrolabes to try to resolve Okos and stuff. The other thing is that I think Karn does want to be like a more robust threat in this deck. I felt a lot of times like that Karn didn't actually do anything besides combo, and I think the upside of Karn is that usually it can threaten things. Like we can only threaten the Lattice if we have like a million lands in play. We can threaten the combo by finding Basalt Monolith. We have like these 2 weird graveyard hate cards. Like Crypt is fine because that's just like a Karn piece, but like this Relic didn't really feel like it did anything. So I think the sideboard wants like 1 to 2 more Karn pieces. Definitely wants like a coding, because I think coding is just really good for Karn and just Fair Mirrors. It just makes your Karn way more threatening. I could see maybe a Glass Casket. I don't know if wishing for removal is that relevant, but I could see like maybe a Spyglass or a Pithing Needle or something in the Karn board as well. But yeah, the mana base and the Karns I think are the only things that I did not like about this list. I really did not like this mana base. I am a very bad blue player, and I am willing to completely admit that a decent amount of our losses were because I fetched improperly, I found the wrong lands, I cantripped incorrectly or whatever, but like, the mana was just genuinely bad. We had trouble casting our spells almost every match. Yeah. It's hard to cast cantrips, especially like me. I very, very little cantrip casting experience. But there's a real chance that you can just play like a Bant Miracles mana base, right? Like they were playing 1 Trop, 1 Tundra, and just like a shit pile of basics. I think you could definitely like just tweak the mana base to more successfully cast your cards through wastelands and stuff. But mana base building is probably my weakest skill in Magic. I am horrible at trying to figure out how mana bases line up with like your curves and trying to hit your double whites and whatever and stuff on time. But yeah, so like I understand the idea behind Supreme Verdict because Delver is so big and having an uncounterable Wrath is very powerful, but like it's so hard to cast Supreme Verdict in this deck because we have exactly 4 basics to cast it off of, and like there's so many turns where you're just like getting your Trop wastelanded or getting your Tundra wastelanded and you don't have double white anymore or whatever. But yeah, I think that's the only things I have to say about this list. I definitely felt like the power level was there. We did horribly in this league, and I think a lot of that was on me, but I think a lot of that was on the mana base. Yeah, Vista mana base. What does like a Bant Miracles mana base look like before they started playing like a 4th color? Can I find that real quick before I sign off? Oh god, everything's just Luris now. Fuck. I want a Snoko deck that doesn't play black. Does that even exist in 2020? No, just all of the decks are just 4-color now. Mana base building 6 planes, 6 Snoko River planes. Certainly an option. Here's maybe a Bant list. Okay, here we go. What does this mana base look like? Is white better than Soul Lands for Karns? I think white's the only way you can cast Zirda. Green would be the splash, and I think Oko is very busted. Above that. Mana base should be Strand Strand Vista, Forest Trop, 4 Island, 2 Plains, 1 Tundra, Caracas, 2 lands. I think that's almost what this mana base ends up looking like. This mana base is actually playing Mystic Sanctuary, but I think you could, because we're not playing Mystic Sanctuary, you could play Prismatic Vista instead. So this is just a Stone Cold Bant Miracles list that has like double white spells and has green exactly for like Oko and some Veil of Summers and stuff. This has what? 9 fetches, 7 basics, 2 duels, and 2 Mystic Sanctuaries. What's this? Place red for green. Yeah, the green would have to be a little bit stronger because this is literally only red for Pyroblast in the sideboard, whereas our green is just for like actual casting cards in game 1, Okos and stuff. So you probably want a little bit more, but actually this is very similar amounts. Actually, I think this is almost the same mana base if you cut these Mystic Sanctuaries. Yeah, there's the 1 forest and the 1 drop. These are both cool. This is actually only a 2 Astrolabe deck, I suppose, which definitely means that you'd want a little bit more green. But yeah, these are very similar mana bases when you boil it down. I think I would definitely like something more like this. I don't think the Ancient Tomb was really worth it. I could definitely see just 4-strand, 4 Prismatic Vista, and like a Delta, or not a Delta, Misty Rainforest or something, and then like this basic configuration, and then like 1 of each duel. So like a very natural Miracles mana base. I think that would feel a lot better. But yeah. And then retool the sideboard a little bit. I think Karn didn't have the power and fair matchups that it maybe should. Maybe the sideboard was also just built without like fair blue mirrors in mind, which is Karn is mostly just your infinite mana outlet. Like against combo, Karn's pretty fine as is. It's mostly against like slow fair blue mirrors, like when you're playing control that you want to just like be able to Karn for a liquid metal coating and start blowing up your opponent's lands. But I think that's like a pretty low opportunity cost. I also did think about Uro just because this deck is design mistakes.deck. Yeah, exactly. Karn feels like kind of a weak fair card. It's one of the best options because it's an okay fair card and it's easy to cast off of Infinite Colorless. The other option would be something like Urza, but Urza you'd have to have like a lot more colored mana on your infinite turns because you can't just like fair it off. But yeah, I think you could easily make Karn look decent as a fair card if you just played like a coating in the sideboard. And just like this mana base needed some work. Cut green for Emery and more artifact. That's just like making a different deck at this point. The idea behind this deck was like you don't care about Null Rod. That's what you wanted to be doing in this deck. You wanted an incidental combo in your snow control deck. You don't want to be a Zirda deck. You want to be a snow control deck that can backdoor Zirda your opponents. If we're cutting green for like Emeries and artifacts, then we're just going back to the I can't beat Null Rod. But yeah, this collection of fetch lands with this collection of basics just felt horrible to me. I did not enjoy trying to figure out. Yeah, I think Bant is correct. I don't think trying to make the mana base better by cutting Oko and just playing like a blue-white control list. I don't think that feels good to me. Oko is just like super bananas. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for today's stream. Definitely interesting. Yeah, I think I would definitely swap around the mana base to something like I was just talking about. But that's gonna be it for today's stream. Let's find someone to send all of you fine folks off to. Hook without enough removal is kind of a trap, so you can't really afford to give your opponent a 3/3. I'm not sure if that's true because Oko is just really fucked up. Oko can like very easily beat like 1 or 2 creatures on the board. Who's streaming? Eternal Magic BR. I know he streams a lot of Legacy. Go hooked him. So Toast Eternal Magic BR. Make sure that's spelled right. Yeah. All right. Anyway, catch you guys all later. Hope you have a good weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there, or in there, I guess, indoors, hopefully. And I'll see you guys all again on Monday. Have a good one.